Bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, 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 bum. Okay. I just need to double check that my thing's not all squished like yesterday. It is not. Okay. Yeah, that was annoying. That bunch of stuff to be annoying yesterday. Hold please. Actually, let me message buddy. Hold please. We are gonna do some Renegade Platinum at some point today. I don't know how early into the stream. Okay. There's that. Okay. Now. I'm gonna start off with the Wordle again and the Squirtle, and then probably go into Renegade Platinum unless J-Dog shows up before then. They promised him a reaction to the Asoni region, like a reaction to that was made by True Green. So I will do that, and then so when he gets in here, I'll do that. We'll see how that goes, how long that takes. But until then, we'll probably play some Platinum, Renegade Platinum, stuff like that. I did move me here. This is a little bit different, but I do. I have no idea. Not there. So, oh, it's silver. That silver doesn't make sense. Still very echoey. I need to add stuff to this room, like to the walls, and then so I won't be as echoey. I don't know if it sounds bad for you guys, like echo wise, but I can hear myself way more in this room than I was able in the other room. I need to see if there's an O somewhere. So, idiot. That sounds cute. Thanks. There's not an O and there's a T thing. I know the I's not there, but I just want to get other letters. Okay, so T something. TM or TI. Tim's. Tim? Timer. IR. I don't know if there's an R. I don't know if there's an M. And I check that. Okay. TI. I'm gonna lose this one. So we'll see. TI something. Tipsy. Thoughts. Yes. Beautiful. Hey. That was yesterday's. Marsh Tom. Boys. Yes, I appreciate that. It is park ground at least. But it's better than Marsh Tom. It's park ground. Flygon? Does Flygon have ground first? It does. Okay. I'm the best there ever was. And simple. Round of Geo, since you cleared that so fast. Do you want to get beat in GeoGuessr, or am I just doing GeoGuessr solo dolo? Because you can get beat in GeoGuessr if you want to. I did clear that one super fast. That's wild. That was a second guess. How far is Christian here? Nope. Guess he didn't get a shine. J-Dog, let's do it. I mean, so go ahead and do a run. Okay. I'm just gonna skip the round of GeoGuessr. Let's do it, J-Dog. I just gotta turn off my music. Boom. I just want to make sure you guys can hear the browser. Right there, we'll see how loud that is. Chase, we'll do the we can do GeoGuessr after. I'm gonna be honest, this is late thing. This thing is, I'm granted it's an hour long, still. Except the little intro he has. It just basically says, he gives a little intro. So like, hey, this is his last video on it. J-Dog, you give me the go and let's go. We love that. Do this.
Child. Elephant. The moss elephant.
How's the sound?
Elephant are always happy to help.
Compared to my voice.
They use the tiny seeds that...
What's that? I know how that sound is. I'm also hoping. Good, okay.
That grow on their back and heads to
I think so. This is the starter. It's gonna start with the 3 starters. Well, starter of chains.
They can hold up to 4.
I'm also gonna put it probably.
And use
Nah,
it
we'll
to
leave it at
water
this
the
speed.
plants that they carefully cultivate. They're clumsy but incredibly resilient.
I believe it's
It's
based off
amazing to see
India
an elephant
is where it's
thrive
going,
for more
so it
than
makes
a
sense.
few seconds. Their skin is tough and hard, but their top halves are cushioned with a layer of soft moss and foliage. They're very loving, but can get carried away with
This
their
little
affection. And there you have it. Elephant has evolved into Mustrunk, the
Okay.
overgrowth Pokemon.
Ooh,
From
grass
the trunk,
rock.
the nose of an elephant, but also the trunk of a tree.
I can hear it.
And Must, the periodic condition in male elephants where they are aggressive and looking for a mate. It's a grass rock type. Mustrunks are overzealous and confident. They will try to plant and water as much vegetation as
Based on
possible.
Middle East
Due
total?
to
Okay.
deforestation, Mustrunk has resolved to plant trees at a faster rate than humans are able.
I want to go back for a second. This little leaf reminds me of that's just the first thing I saw. That.
Plant and water as much vegetation as possible. Due to deforestation,
Like that's what the very
Mustrunk
first
has
thing.
resolved
Was.
to plant trees at a faster rate than humans are able to tear them down. It will sometimes plant trees on human property to spite humans who have torn down
Okay.
the trees it has planted. After all, it never forgets those who have harmed it or its sprouts. Mustrunks are able to be trained by those.
I like that. Like the whole there's this like elephants never forget thing because elephants are supposed to have really good memory. Like they're supposed to be able to like remember human faces and stuff. So that's pretty funny.
While often aggressive, it will listen to those it trusts. Keep in mind that the plants that Mustrunk cultivates grow faster and taller than plants that it hasn't personally tended to. With its mastery of minerals, it can create new slabs of rock and soil to grow new plants on. It overworks itself, but the closer it gets to its final evolution, the more a wild Mustrunk will realize that its strategy isn't perfect. Those who live with trainers will put all their effort into battling instead, which is a great outlet for their pent-up
Did I miss something?
emotions. But here's the final.
Why did it just turn?
Minerals, it can create new slabs of rock and soil to grow new plants on. It overworks itself, but the closer it gets to its final evolution, the more
Is that the
a wild
shiny?
Mustrunk will realize that its strategy isn't perfect. Those who live with trainers will put all their effort into battling instead, which is a great outlet for their pent-up emotions. But here's the final concept. Precipice,
Shiny?
the mountain
Okay.
Pokemon, from precipice, the steep edge of a mountain or cliff, and elephant. I'll show you its
They're
stats
cool,
once I finish
shiny.
reading its entry. Precipice is a rather intelligent being.
I like how those
It
has the
strength
mountains.
to defend all wildlife that relies on the fruit that grows on it. It uses its dexterous trunk to remove any obstacle, like fallen trees or boulders, but will use it as a means to attack when necessary. This Pokemon utilizes its power and size to intimidate both humans and Pokemon into getting along.
I also like that has a little
Hills
fist
and
right here.
mountains at will, which it uses to enforce boundaries between the territories of different Pokemon so conflicts rarely break out. They say that the many mountains that divide the region were made by Precipitant to defend against invaders.
It's the shiny part. Yeah, it's just showing the regular version versus the shiny version. Did I miss the shiny version of the first one? Or did they not show one of Elephant? 324. I just want to see. Oh yeah, it did change.
Elephant cry for more than a few seconds.
Yeah, to this.
Tough and hard.
It just was so sly I didn't realize it.
With a layer of soft moss and they say that the many mountains that divide the region were made by Precipitant to defend against invaders. In its spare time, it finds new seeds to plant on its back. Fruit that grows on Precipitant grows extra faster and larger than on any soil on land. Its hidden ability is Harvest, very appropriate, and it's as defensive and...
Okay, so base stat total, on par with all its starters. Heavy on physicals. So it's a physical attacker, physical defender. Not bad. It's a little slow, but
its signature move is Overgrowth.
I should just let it do it.
Move that causes the battlefield to become grassy terrain. Here is Smokecalf, the cat Pokemon.
Blaze. Oh, that's.
Let's thank Dark and Windy for these names, by the way.
Ability.
Smokecalf is very modest and bashful. It doesn't like sticking out too much, but encouragement from those around it helps build its confidence. It's very sweet, but will use its mastery of fire to great use when necessary. It is very diligent when it comes to practicing with its fire. In fact, its hair and tail light up for a second whenever attacking. It's constantly looked after, and in ancient times they were cultivated.
Like a little mohawk, a little flame mohawk.
Considering Smokecalf were worshipped in ancient times, modern Smokecalf still have a refined taste in food, and will roast anything before eating it. And
I like the shiny, I think, better.
And in ancient times, they were cultivated to prepare them for proper...
This one was barely shown, but I think I like the shiny better. Like, so you see how the flame is, like, there? Right, I kind of like how the... Actually, I don't know. I think if they kept the flame, but I like the darker red. I don't know if that's dark, but...
And will roast anything before eating it.
I do like this red color.
There you go. Smokecalf evolves into the pure fire-type cattle Pokemon, Agnite, from Agni, which is Sanskrit for fire,
like
ignite, and night, the time of day these Pokemon are brightest, and night with a K, since various societies rely on these Pokemon. Because this Pokemon's evolved form is so crucial to the agriculture of various civilizations, this Pokemon has been spoiled by farmers for centuries. As a result of human worship, this Pokemon has become vain and lazy. It's able to raise the temperature of anything just by looking at it. It does fear accidentally igniting objects with its pyrokinesis, though. As a result, it becomes...
Does it turn that same... Wait, hold on. So was this the regular one?
Deep down, it still wants to be recognized for its...
Like it didn't have the fire?
Practices pyrokinesis every day. Those trained in battle are more respectful and disciplined. Its fur is fire resistant too. The hair on its head will often combust when it's overcome with emotion. And here it is, Oxynorate.
I must have missed the
Pokemon. From Ox.
Its hair lights up sometimes. Okay. So is this the actual...
It's greatly respected.
Or that
it's finally a fairy type.
Makes sense.
Oxynorate has brought the citizens of this region bountiful harvests for centuries. It is said that it is the reason crops can grow in the many unfortunate environments that this region exhibits. This Pokemon can summon powerful solar energy from the fire on its head in order to bathe crops with enough sunlight during dry and cold seasons. The most loyal and dutiful Oxynorates will stay...
One thing that is interesting, the fact that they made it fairy instead is that, so Elephant, I don't know if I forgot, it turns into like part rock. So rock could be good against fire, right? So I was kind of expecting the secondary type here to counteract like rock, like fire ground, right? Or fire flying even to like get back at the
farmers always greet these
to get back the double effectiveness.
Those in the party of a Pokemon trainer
but fire fairy is a cool
energy to fight for honor.
Coverage
they love the limelight and take great...
Okay, so I usually have a complaint with shinies that aren't consistent, like Teddiursa and Ursa Ring are both green, and then Ursa Luna becomes like this red, and the other two were a deeper red, and this turns blue. Absolutely sick. I'm assuming this is a shiny. I really like the blue flame. It makes sense.
Joy in doing a good job in any
I
sort
really
of
like
field.
that.
This happy aura increases their power, so trainers from around the region know to make sure this Pokemon is always in a good mood. Its hidden ability is Drought, and its signature move is Starfall, a 90 base power...
Most fire types are, except for like the firefighting types that we had, like Incineroar stuff, are special attackers, and so I like that they kept them
Special
on par.
move that creates misty terrain by using its mystical powers to summon solar energy
Starfall.
from the sky. Say hello to Dolflo, the wave Pokemon. Dolflo is an extremely social Pokemon. It will use its sonar abilities to find other Pokemon to befriend. It can release powerful waves of both water and sound, and can communicate with its kind over long distances. They're very naive and trusting, but don't be fooled. They're extremely
Orange always the
intelligent.
same.
While they constantly hope that everyone they meet is as innocent as they are never tricked twice. They are very curious.
I like the pink. You know, like the dolphin. I like that it turns pink. A knockoff Celio. I was saying not like a seal and like a dugong, but like I don't know. I like that a lot of the water starters like Mudkip turns into that pink or purplish too. So I like the
And
shiny.
inquisitive, but that oftentimes gets them into trouble with humans. But regardless, they will always save a human that is in any sort of danger.
I haven't seen any bad shinies so far.
Dolflo evolves into
Hello.
the water psychic type,
Dolphin one's the best.
Mental and Tidal. It's known as the psychic wave Pokemon. Having learned about all the injustices
Okay, so this one's gonna
of
turn
the water
psychic?
and the ocean pollution.
So why isn't this one water psychic
Mental
already?
Become less trusting. It uses psychic bubbles to collect trash and toss it back onto land.
Like I feel like it
It's
could
very
already be
egotistical
dual
and
type.
cynical. Mentitle will rarely put their faith in others, but as a result, it isn't very disappointed when those around
I feel
it
bad that
fail.
I'm like
Mentitles
covering
who
up his
are
little.
under the care of a trainer will revive their trust in humans. They're able to create large waves with their mind and can torpedo through water using telekinesis. They will jump up from the water and stay midair to breathe in as much air as possible.
Like everything else
Most
is like
skilled
taken.
Mentitle are able to stay hydrated on land by psychically applying moisture to their skin. The
See,
purple
I
fins
like
coming out-
the. Cause this is the shiny, right? The villain from the Penguin Square. I think they should have flipped. Unless I'm wrong on like how they're showing this. Like unless this is the shiny, but I don't think it makes sense unless they are showing what the shiny evolves into and then
are under the care of a trainer will
going
revive
to this.
are a mixture of water and psychic energy.
Right.
Here it is, the psychic wave Pokemon.
There's a lot to take in right now. That looks evil. Kinda like Malamar.
From cerebellum, a part of the brain.
No, the blue is the shiny. Yeah, that's okay. I feel like they should have flipped them. I don't know. But it makes sense to have the pink going around it though. This like reminds me of Malamar, like the
Bellum,
evil
which
face
means war,
that Malamar has.
illuminate, marine, mar,
Belumar.
which is Spanish for sea, and sonar. I love how I was able to fit that many origins in one name. You could even say Bella, which means beautiful, is there since its body showcases beautiful patterns and lights. Bellamar is very aggressive, but only fights those it believes are harming its environment and fellow water Pokemon. It creates a bubble fin to constantly stay hydrated on land, and uses its psychic powers to carry itself through any terrain. It can shoot pressurized water mixed with psychic energy, so they never miss. The most powerful are able to even read minds, allowing them to know if others
It
are
also
friendly.
looks like I'm trying to think of. Oh my god, I can't think of. There's
They will
a
use their sonar
evil
to
character that
coordinate
looks like
attacks.
that.
However, they have never abandoned their heroic hearts and will save
You
innocent
would
souls.
not choose him?
They are known
I'd
to
I'd
analyze
choose
their
the
battlefield
I'd choose the
to
elephant,
calculate the least amount
but
of
I
people
like
dead.
grass
Those
in
who have
general,
become
so
friends
it's not
with
really
trainers have revived their faith in humans
not
and will
really
help
that
their
far of
environment
reach
using more
anyway.
peaceful methods. In ancient times, it was thought that Bellamar were sent to impose.
My
the
guess is
will
it's
of the
gonna be
water
a-
gods. Their hidden ability is
It's a
analytic,
special-
giving them
yeah.
the edge over faster targets and trainers who think they're clever for switching
Way
in super
faster than-
effective mons when Bellamar is on the field. Their signature move is Mindstorm, a 90 base power move that summons psychic terrain, which is pretty clever because, mind and storm, psychic in water. Since its water attacks are mixed with its psychic energy. In fact, here is a neat animation I made of how this Pokemon looks when it's shooting beams of water or psychic energy. This laser is the mandatory weapon all water type starters seem to have, according to fans. Rodent, a normal type. This
Kim Possible wants her little pet back.
Pokemon lives underground in highly social
That's
societies.
ugly.
They are constantly huddled together and very close with those
I
they
get
love.
it, it's a Pokemon,
Not only
that's
can they not
ugly.
feel pain, but
And
they're
they can
impervious
mow
to
right?
harsh environments. This makes Erodent very daring and indomitable. It is fearless. Erodent can be found anywhere in a zone. Their eyesight is poor, but their whiskers can sense their surroundings using magnetic waves. They dig large tunnels using their indestructible incisors.
The shiny
Next,
doesn't make it look.
Ratdozer, a normal ground type. Ratdozer possesses a protective layer of bone on its face. Not only is it impervious to pain, but now its entire face is indestructible. It creates a vast.
This kind of gives me
underground
Eradicate
space
type stuff,
tunneling
which
into
makes
ruins.
sense.
The glow-in-the-dark gem on its forehead provides light in the darkest caves and can blind opponents if necessary. They are highly intelligent, and each have different roles to fulfill.
That rodent
colony.
looked weird.
Some dig and expand their territory, some create specialized structures, some attack and defend, some take care of the young, and some forage for food and store them in special chambers. Their sensory whiskers gives them accurate measurements of their tunnels and acts as protection in case their tunnels cave in on them. Here's their shiny. They have the abilities Rockhead and Adaptability.
Shiny looks kind of cool.
Ability Hustle. Lubbird from Landlubber, an inexperienced sailor, and Bird.
Does it turn into a water flying?
These Pokemon are found all throughout the Isonian coast. They love being near the water, but rarely touch it. While inexperienced swimmers, they are skilled at flight from a relatively young age. They instinctively find high perches, and with their keen eyes, spot their water-dwelling prey from afar and swoop
This
down
doesn't
in
look
an
bad.
instant
I like
to
this.
catch their meal with their
Cute.
long beaks, barely touching the water for more than a second. The closer they are to evolution, the more confident they will become in gradually growing accustomed to the water, as it is their dream to fly over the open ocean. They are hardworking yet fun-loving, patient yet ambitious. They desire a grand life but need a trainer they can trust to pull them out of their monotony and expose them to adventure. Mateen.
Okay, so it's orange for shiny?
Part of a ship's crew, and
It turns water flying.
a water and flying type. By learning how to swim, this Pokemon was rewarded with unlimited travel. It can
Water
swim
flying
in large
stays
bodies of
like
water
as a
and swim
staple,
with ease.
almost.
It's extremely confident in its abilities and offers to be the right-hand man of larger bird Pokemon such as its evolved form. A crew of Mateen can plunder an entire island and attack an entire school of Magikarp. As a team, they're even known to take
Okay,
on
so is
schools from
Magikarp in here?
Wishiwashi and Gyarados. They will divide their spoils according to rank. It is believed that these Pokemon are actually quite skilled at mathematics and first aid as well, since they can perform division and tend to the wounds of their comrades. Captorant from Captain.
They can do
Norton,
division?
a water flying type.
This looks a lot like Honchkrow, but I'd like it.
Commands a crew of
I don't know if I would say that this was water,
mastermind of their
but
schemes.
knowing it's water, I
By
can see
example,
it.
and partakes in
Kinda
the
like
toughest
piratey.
fights as its crew plunders. It's able to release powerful jets of salty water at alarming speeds. Their water-based moves sting more than those of other Pokemon. It's always armed and accurate. It stays high in the air as it shoots a barrage of powerful blasts.
You can't do long division
Captorant is
chase?
brave, but can often lose sight of its priorities. While it desires treasure, it only goes after those who are more.
I really
fortunate.
like the shiny.
It does not have the time nor the will.
I
to
know they just inverted the colors, but I really like
steal from the weak. They're master navigators, and most have been to many corners of the world. And here is Twug.
Twug.
Twig and Bug, a bug
Yeah,
type known
makes sense.
as the frail Pokemon. Twug live in a hostile environment. It's almost always surrounded by
What?
predators, but can camouflage into the grass and trees. It'll try to stand still, but can't help but shake. Thankfully, this
Does
makes
it turn
look
into like
a
a-
twig dancing in the wind, heightening the illusion. If its camouflage fails,
I'm just trying to think,
Bob
I don't think it's a bad looking Pokemon. I would like to have it look more like the stick bug from A Bug's Life.
from side to side.
Would have
It
been funny.
will attempt at intimidating its enemies. It more successfully scares its enemies with its high-pitched cries. If it's able to successfully poke its foe with its antenna, its confidence will be boosted tremendously. When this Pokemon becomes
The
tired
shiny
of
makes
its
sense.
previous life, it will seek to
It's
become stronger
kinda like
and weak
blend
to
in.
train. Twug evolves into Stickid. From
Okay,
stick,
so it's going
kid,
it's going more
wicked,
towards the
slang form.
stick
It's
bug.
a bug fighting type known as the counter Pokemon. After beginning to rigorously train,
How big is
Stickid
this
has
Pokemon?
successfully made a name for itself. It fights back no matter the strength of its foe. It will never run away from a bully, but will begin to tear up when in a tight spot. It tries its best to fight those tears. It will seek out predators to put them in their place. It loves defending tiny Pokemon, even though it's often tinier than the
Kinda looks
Pokemon
like a
it
stick
attacks.
bug.
It effectively uses punches and kicks, and wears padding as hard as a firm tree. It wraps itself in soft bark to heal its wounds. To surprise enemies, it will quickly eject its underdeveloped wings. Their size and color may not intimidate
I
its
like
foes,
the
but
shiny. I like the shiny a lot. I think this should have been the regular.
enemies will be startled for enough time
You know
to
what I mean?
quickly jab them in a vital
But-
spot. Phasmask is here!
Okay, it completely went away from the stick bug.
From the scientific name for stick bugs, masculine and mask,
Fast.
the superhero Pokemon. After its foes have grown tougher, this Pokemon has evolved into a powerful warrior that fights for the good of all Pokemon. It'll spring into action whenever it hears a cry using its antennas, and can punch its enemies into the horizon. Its bright colors disorient its foes, and act as a bright beacon of hope. It can expertly jump, climb, and fly. It uses its wings to intimidate, while wearing a permanent smile in order to reassure those it saves. It's very emotional. and
I know
will
we
cry
only have
tears of
one
joy
eye.
whenever it overcomes huge obstacles. These Pokemon will stand by and support trainers who fully commit to acts of good. A certain other bug
I really
Pokemon
like
in a
That. I like the I think I like the shiny sprites better than the regular sprites.
Behold, Hoppinch from
Another
Grasshopper,
bug type? Okay.
Pinch as in to steal, and to pinch, as well as the word inch because it's very small. It's not exactly an inch; it's more like 8 inches. A bug dark type known as the Locust Pokemon. Hoppage travel in swarms and will devour entire fields in minutes. They use their giant mandibles to instantly chop wheat and use their sharp points, feet, and posable wings to slice enemies.
I like the colors.
Their color usually changes over time to adapt to their environment. Individually, they're still rather powerful. They will jump out and surprise
I really like
people,
the
attacking
green
them with
shiny.
one of the many weapons they possess
If
in
it's
their body.
if the Pokemon's green, like the shiny aura is green,
They
has a
obviously
part in
have
my
the
heart.
ability Swarm. They can be found starting from Route 2. They evolve at level 28 into Grassassin, the covert Pokemon. After the enemies,
That's the thing with nightmares. That is scary. Scary looking.
Stronger. It trained in the
Did you guys know that the dark type in Japan is actually called the evil type?
of stealth and
I
became
learned
a
that today.
skilled assassin. They work alone to take down enemies 10 times their size. In the past, these Pokemon were sent on missions to secretly take down entire nations. They will hide for an excruciating amount of time and strike at the right moment using their sharp dagger-like claws. They work best at night, considering their vision is superb in the dark. They can jump 100 feet in any direction and will thrust their
The
claws
fact
into the
I
enemy.
need you to know though, if somebody said like if this came out to me, right? I'm not setting on a Pokemon. I'm swinging myself. I'm probably losing the fight, right? But that's too scary to have one of my Pokemon deal with.
Without any hesitation. They
It's
have the
fast,
ability to
fast.
fly, but rarely use their flight on mission, as the beating of their wings is extremely noisy.
I like how the
Fast
dull.
ones to occasionally
This makes sense, right? Because if I get kind of ninja-y too, right? It's dark
their
and like
missions. Sharp
cute
Hunter,
colored.
the quill Pokemon,
Aw.
a normal type. These Pokemon will embark on long journeys to forage for berries.
I like that it has a shiny right there. I like
It can
this
stiffen
setup.
its quills and use them to break any obstacle in its path. But first and foremost, these quills protect Sharpine from being ambushed by predators. This allows this Pokemon to be carefree and preserve brain power by not being on constant guard. If its foes come from the front, it will turn around and run away. Its front horns are too dull to land effective blows. It uses them to dig, break branches, and sense its environment. The closer they are to evolution, the more they will begin to sweat toxins. These toxins aren't yet potent, but they emit an odor.
Are they
that
gonna
makes
just gonna
them
turn
dangerous.
poison?
Its spines
Right.
constantly break off and grow back sharper and harder. Crest Toxic, the poison quill Pokemon.
I'm a damn
a normal
genius.
poison
I need
type.
you guys to know
Its
that.
quills are tipped with a layer of poison. These quills
I
are
like
almost as
this,
hard
buddy.
as diamond and can be shot out at will. The harder the quills, the closer they are to evolution. There is no way a foe can attack Crest Toxic without
Sheer
damaging
force.
itself. The only place this Pokemon cannot release its venom is from its sharp claws. It uses those to climb and dig. It plants berries by using its plucked quills as tools. This Pokemon shows no mercy in battle. They will clatter their quills together to warn enemies. It'll put itself into harm's way by ramming into opponents from any direction. It is rare for Wild Crest Toxic to join the
I
party.
really wish I was able to see like the comparison how with Grassassin. I just want to know how big it is.
Trained from their
Like
pre-evolved
how
Pork Impale, the armor quill Pokemon.
before I get to this, like how well could I have fought it off myself, right? If I sent a Pokemon out, I just want to know how big it would have been. This
A
I don't know.
poison steel type.
To me, it looks like
Warrior.
a
This
Nidoking-ish.
Pokemon is covered in indestructible
Poison
armor
Steel is
made of
wild,
fused
though.
quills. The poison
This
is
would
increased
bully
its
any
bond
fairy
to destroy
type.
the bonds that fuse its quills together,
Just absolutely
allowing
body
it to
them.
instantly detach a quill from its armor and using it as a weapon. Even a tiny slash from its quills will poison its foe. And Pork Impale is a master at hand-to-hand combat and can use its quills as spears and daggers. The curvature of its quills inspired the shape of ancient Estonian sabers. It can fire off its quills like missiles.
It's
Pork
crazy
Impale is
slow,
actually
though.
a
This
rather
speed's
calm
52.
Pokemon. It does not fight with rage, since it's impervious to attacks and knows how to protect its blind spots. Its confidence allows it to make smart decisions in the heat of battle. It will constantly train with its quills. It dexterously twirls its quills around while deep in thought. Gerbolt, the disrupting Pokemon.
Okay.
Its Japanese
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Am I supposed to be led to believe that this is not the same Pokemon? Am I supposed to pretend like this is not... This isn't a thing?
name is Jeru Boruto. It's a
Pachirisu
fire
kind
type.
of too.
This Pokemon loves to be the center of attention. This leaves Gerbolt
I do like
to
the
put all
shiny.
their efforts into saving others and fighting evildoers. Its drive to be famous makes Gerbolt
Does
take
Pikachu
on
clones all?
smaller
They do
foes.
all look similar.
It even loves
And there's
to
a lot
make
of.
grand entrances, sometimes at the expense of those it's trying to save, as it will wait for the most entertaining time to enter. It bounces into the scene with its powerful legs and
It's
begins to kick
fast.
its enemies. It can jump 100 feet in the air and flip a Caparaja onto its side with one kick. Its cape-like fur allows it to control the speed at which it falls, and it can use its prehensile tail as a grappling
How's a Caparaja? I know Caparaja.
hook. Its thunderous kicks are no joke. It's been found to team up with
Or
Phasmophobia.
Copperjaw. I don't know. Maybe this is a new Pokemon
From the
that'll come out.
Tiny and Tendril. It's a pure grass type and pure female. Tendril uses.
I need you to know it says something and tendril. I have no idea what tendril is. Tendril. Man said like it was just something. Oh my god, it's just a little. I had no idea this was a thing. At all.
Uses its vine to climb plants and swings to maneuver. They're in search for high spots.
I mean, it doesn't really bother me that a lot of these look like other Pokemon because that's just kind of how it goes. There's always other Pokemon that look similar, which is why it doesn't. I don't know why, but that looks so much like an Amoga. I had a
objects and branches. They are enamored with celebration. They love watching other
Falta. Copperjaw is the elephant Pokemon. Yeah, I know Copperjaw, right? But he said like Copperaj, blah blah blah. I think he added some syllables. Like, sorry, there might be another Pokemon in my head.
From Vitis, the genus for grapes, Tender, and Tendril, a grass and fairy type. Vitendril are very lively and jubilant. They love to facilitate celebrations and will dole out the juice of their fruit to all, in order to energize people in Pokemon. Since the dawn of the Asone region, this Pokemon has helped its citizens cultivate berries for consumption. In battle, it can use its fruit as weapons. It'll hang from trees using its vine ponytail and will throw dense fruit bombs at its opponents that explode and cover its foe in sticky juice. On the ground, it can use its ponytail as an appendage, dishing out spring-like barrages. It'll heal those that learn their lesson. When they hit a certain
I really like the shiny, how it's like kind of like a fall color thing. Looks insane.
From Vivid, Vine, Vitis, and Empress.
Just all
the
grapes.
Now produce intoxicating juices that it disperses in order to disorient and knock out its opponents. It is a natural dancer. It dances to heal, but while fighting it moves with grace. It will extend its vines to maneuver through all dimensions of the battlefield. Its spring-like arms can punch at incredible speeds. It's also impossible to escape the arms of Vividis. If its opponents are not in grabbing range, Vividis will aim for their heads with a Grape Bomb. The older they become, the more
Grape Bomb, we love that.
Here's their shiny.
Shiny looks sick.
Leaf Guard and Regenerator with the hidden ability.
Or you like the fall colors.
It learns the signature move, Grape Acid. It has 100% accuracy.
Well, first off, Grassassin was way scarier than this. Grassassin's the thing of nightmares. I'm scared. Okay. I ain't no bitch. But bugs freak me out. Like, a lot of bugs freak me out. Okay? So, Grassassin, that's scary. That's the thing of nightmares.
Either badly poison the opponent or put it to sleep. And there you have it. Poilover, the poison-loving plover, evolves at level 25 into Involuver.
First off, did I miss Poilover? Did I miss this? Or is it just, doing two at a time?
Poison don't hurt it, but depending on which berry it holds, it evolves into a different colored Involuver based on the effects of the berry it had upon evolution. Orange Involuver can't be burnt, blue can't be frozen, yellow can't be paralyzed, purple can't be poisoned, and pink can't be...
I like that depending on like the berry, right? And it gives it different abilities, like resistances. Like can't be poisoned, can't be burned. I like that. I think that's a pretty cool concept.
Meet Voltalope from Volt and Antelope, and even Elope, which can mean to run away, which evolves into Thundorix from Thunder and Oryx. Voltalope is a rare Pokemon to actually get a glimpse of, since it runs away once spotted. It takes a calm and completely benevolent spirit to keep Voltalope from darting into the distance. Even if an enemy were to somehow catch up to it, its fur will instantly shock any predator that pounces onto Voltalope, allowing it to escape. When it evolves into Thundorix, it becomes way more defensive and offensive. In ancient times, these Pokemon were thought to be thunder gods. When spotted, they will command a bolt of lightning to strike the ground, burning up the landscape and creating a barrier between...
of the Pokemon Bouffalant, maybe, is what I'm thinking of. I don't know. Is there any other calf Pokemon?
If this does not deter the enemy, it will charge up its horns and deliver a devastating headbutt. If all else fails, it can instantly escape using its electrically powered legs. Voltalope's abilities are Runaway and Static, but Thundorix's are Lightning Rod and Galvanize.
I also like when shinies make sense. Like all the grass ones that were there, like being autumn colors, makes sense, right? And electricity, right? Having like the blue electricity, like blue lightning, right, and stuff like that, like makes sense.
To turn any
makes sense to me, and I like it.
Electric type one. It has the hidden ability Motor Drive. Let's welcome Asonian Pidove.
Grass flying
type.
I like his regional variants in here too. I like that. Grass flying.
It's actually slightly more intelligent than its Unovan counterpart.
Ice beam bullies,
still
but still
extremely trusting. They love journeying throughout Asone looking for those in need. It carries seeds to plant wherever there is famine. It has become a symbol of peace and prosperity. In ancient times, when a pidove would reappear in a ravaged land, it was an indication of the end
Like
of
the Shining.
strife. When in battle, it's able to shoot out sharp leaf-like feathers from its wings, although it does prefer to preen its plumage instead of battle. Take a look at the grass-flying Ausonian Tranquil. This
I really
Pokemon
like the
strives
Shining
for peace and flies long
a
distances
lot.
to bring peace. It's incredibly full of itself.
But see, this one, like I was saying, like grass, right? Leaves turn brown. Shiny makes sense.
One sight of its beautiful plumage will end all wars. It eagerly accepts delivery jobs in order to show more people its colorful feathers. Its feathers do bring good luck, though.
Not that
They're
fast,
used
though.
as good luck charms.
I mean, it's
throughout the zone.
mid-stage.
In battle, it shoots
Almost
out
me.
multicolored leaves from its wings. In ancient times, these leaves would be crushed to make certain dyes. Here is Ausonian Unpheasant. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's just a regional variant, Chase. Like there's like a lowland Raichu and stuff like that. It's just regional variants. Or like Hisuian, Typhlosion, Hisuian, Decidueye, stuff like that. I really like this a lot. I like both.
Incredibly proud of its plumage. The color of its feathers seems to change based on the angle, even making the eye patterns on its tail feathers blink, stupefying onlookers and terrifying foes. Males with bigger and more colorful plumage show off their tail feathers to attract mates and intimidate rivals by showcasing their ability to survive in the wild while
Peacock is not already one. This is the final evolution. This is not what it looks like here. Unpheasant. This is what it normally looks like. Yeah. Oh, you get. I put it right behind my head. How it turns.
sticking out. This colorful Pokemon seems to strike a chord with trainers who also seem to stick out in a hostile environment while staying proud. Since
Still kinda
unpleasant colors
slow.
are recognizable from afar, they're always on guard.
Relatively.
Shoot out sharp
Or flying
beams in all
types.
directions.
Flying types are usually
Their
pretty
only
fast.
blind spot is below when they're not flying. Their leaf feathers are able to absorb the sun's rays, giving them reliable energy. They only act vulnerable when around
These
those
eyes
they trust.
work?
Since ancient times, their eye pattern feathers have been used as luck charms that ward off evil. This is my little rambunctious child. Because
like
of
Slackoth?
urbanization and deforestation, Slackoths in
It's
this
a
region
regional.
started lounging on power lines instead of trees. They absorbed the energy from them, slowly building up their tolerance to electricity, and eventually becoming so energized that they began to hunt and fight. Their claws are a very efficient way
Wow.
of both grounding them and tasing their foes. This line is actually the reverse of the normal Slackoth line. They use up so much of their electricity that when they evolve, they need to recharge as Vigoroth, before evolving into Slacking and Rampaging again. Now feast your eyes, just don't wake him up. Electric Vigoroth. Because it has used all of its electricity as a Slackoth, it must recharge while preparing for evolution. It is constantly asleep, but still feels what is going on around it using its electrical sense. It will shock
It's like
you if you
Metapod
approach
almost?
it. With
Like
its
it doesn't
control
do
of
much?
electricity comes control of the muscles of its body. It has shut off all electrical signals into its muscles, including its eyelids, so they cannot be disturbed. It's preparing for a monumental and legendary awakening. Here's the king, Electric Slacking.
So the other one has Trent, basically.
After slumbering for its
It's
entire
fast.
Vigoroth stage, it is now more energized than
Fast.
ever
Compare.
and must unleash all the stored electricity it has amassed by rampaging. While it is in control of its actions,
Heavy
the
attack.
barrage of electricity
670.
in its muscles
Oh, so this
it
makes
hard
it
to
the. That's what pseudos have,
slack
right?
to be precise
That's
and
670?
nuanced with its actions. After expending all of its electricity, it must rest to regain power again. It has a new ability called Rampage. On the turn that it is mobile, all of its stats are boosted.
Oh, so it
But
still has
then,
Truant.
like Truant, it becomes immobile for a turn, in which all of its stats are lowered. So here is the psychic cat, Filuna, from feline and Luna,
Okay.
and the fairy cat, Beneko, from the prefix bene, which
Hello,
means
kitty.
good,
You're right.
and Neko, Japanese for cat. Filuna are most comfortable alone. They are very intelligent, but as a result, cautious and skeptical. They have the power to control fortune in their favor. It will rarely bond with humans, but when they do,
Flaking
Filuna will
is
give
also
their trainer
OP.
the best of luck. Passing
Yes, that makes
trainers
sense.
who look at Filuna the wrong way will have bad luck for 13 days.
Unless you just
The
use
white cat,
protection, but
Beneko,
still.
is very social and manipulative. It constantly needs attention and will get it by using its cute face to its advantage. They are very egotistical and greedy, but as a result very dependent. It rewards those who pamper it with good fortune, but it will personally
I like the-
sabotage the lives
I think I like
of
this
those
shiny
it believes
better.
to be inferior by playing tricks. Felance. the Dark Psychic Slasher. This Pokemon is on a quest to rid the world of its rivals. Felance
Like
sees
Wario.
itself as an avenger and shining knight, when in reality they're very aggressive and merciless.
Stage.
It moves at night and uses its psychic fangs and psycho cuts to defeat its prey.
Dark
It's
Psychic's
very
kind of
agile
crazy.
and defiant. It doesn't listen to those it doesn't respect and will attack without provocation. Baneko from
Okay, so these are evolutions.
Rocket,
Yeah, I was gonna
a
ask.
monster in Japanese, and the English word bad, and even the word bane. This dark fairy monster is very cruel, selfish, and deceiving.
Dark Fairy is also
it
crazy.
loves toying with its enemies and picking fights. It pulls destructive pranks that have serious consequences, but Baneko doesn't care. It receives joy from any kind of attention, even bad. It relishes in the rivalry it has with Felance, and feels most alive when being chased by its
I
enemies.
like the green eyes. I love it, just the honesty. So what's Camerupt look like?
Camerupt, a water ground type. It has large reserves of water in its
Wow.
abdomen, and it can shoot them out from the hump on its back. These Pokemon are essential for travel through the deserts of the zone. This Pokemon willingly hydrates all that are desperate for water. They travel in packs carrying water for communities of Pokemon and humans in need. Some wild and predatory Pokemon even prefer to let it be and just ask them for water instead of attacking them. There is an unspoken understanding between Camerupt and all the living beings of a zone. It does not tolerate those who are impatient or rude to it.
I
It will
like
shoot
water
them with a
ground
blast of
always
water from
anyway,
its
so
mouth.
I like it.
It is even able to control the
I
temperature
love
of
the
its water.
Cam. I think the
Only
shiny.
Camerupt
So the shiny regular Camerupt too turns like this blackish color. So I like that the shiny
descends
also
from
kind of does.
Asonian Camerupts, who could release water at blazing temperatures. Behold the psychic
Meowth?
Meowth of the Asone region. While less greedy than the average
makes
Meowth,
sense.
these Pokemon are naturally egotistical and
That's
self-centered.
Pharaoh-esque.
After centuries of worship, this species sees itself in high regards, but they are highly intelligent. They are aware of their limitations, but never acknowledge them. In ancient times, it is said that the most powerful of Asonian Meowths were able to use telekinesis to create monuments in their own image. It did not take long for humans to create such monuments themselves in order to immortalize their love for these Pokemon. Some say that an ancient civilization that once thrived in Asone owed its
They got-
wealth and prominence to these Meowths.
I don't
They
know if I
would
like
sit
that
beside
shiny.
ancient kings and predict outcomes.
Just the blue.
of
I don't know why,
actions
but the blue
and
stone.
create
Enough.
money. Profit. From Persian, per and profit.
Profit.
It
Okay.
took me and a friend a half an hour to come up with a name that was half as clever as Berserker. It's a pure psychic type
Berserker's a
evolved
good name,
from
to be
Asonian
fair.
Meowth at level 28. Newly discovered hieroglyphics have led modern archaeologists to believe that Profit were the puppet masters
Gives me
behind the ancient
Deoxys
civilization
vibes.
that once
Ale.
lived in Asone. These shadow
Looks
pharaohs
pretty cool,
would
though.
use their telekinesis to
I still don't like
create
the blue
monuments
shiny.
and tombs.
I don't know why, but the
Worshipped
blues
as
just
gods
throwing
for
me
their
off.
ability to create matter. Legendary Paraphits were said to be able to create life. They spend every waking moment floating midair, with their manes constantly flowing and their tails ever twirling. This Pokemon is unbelievably wise. It's always smart to follow its orders. Not only will its judgments be supreme, but those who defy them will be destroyed. Okay, so you know how Meowths are seemingly able to produce coins out of nowhere? I turned this type of alchemy into a signature move of
Alright,
Profit.
Juice.
It's basically Metronome, but for items, called Creation. Profit uses its matter creation powers to create a randomly generated held item. This item goes away at the end of the battle. It's a fun gimmick move that also ties into
Looks
how this
goofy.
Pokemon is
It
the
looks
direct
scary.
descendant of Mew.
There's no for Pucci. I like Pucciana, so they can't do this one
Meet
dirty.
Asonian Mightyena.
Looks like a
It's
hyena.
Round, dark. While as coordinated in
Which
their
makes
attacks
sense.
as Hoennian Mightyena,
Looks like the
Phasmophobia
hyenas from
tend to
Lion King.
improvise more and act rougher. They are thought to be the
For sure.
oldest form of Mightyena. They hunt in packs and will use sand attacks to disorient foes and trap them with Sand Tomb. They will hunt anything, but if a trainer proves their superiority, Mightyena will obey their every command. Asonian Mightyena is always covered in a layer of earth that protects it from the desert sun. It camouflages
I like
into the
that. Looks
dry and
alike.
desolate surroundings
The
of
shiny
sunny
looks a lot
deserts.
everywhere.
Starting at
Mightyena.
level 35 when leveled up in a sandstorm while holding a thick club, Asonian Mightyena evolves into Barbariana. In
Wow.
the harshest of
That
conditions,
was
this
scary.
Pokemon evolved through ingenuity and desperate hunger. This Pokemon is able to use tools and is constantly in search for the sharpest and sturdiest weapons. It uses the bones of its prey to attack and summon sand-based moves. Their drive to hunt is unrivaled. The alpha of the pack
Intimate
has the longest
boxing.
bone. They will constantly spar with each other to learn how to handle their weapon. If their weapon shatters, they will finish off enemies with their sharp claws covered in hardened earth. The
I really
kick
like it.
on
Looks
its
sick.
body helps cool it down and
I
gives extra damage.
think it looks
damage.
cool.
Asonian Mightyenas usually get the scraps that Barbariana leave. Therefore, most Asonian Mightyena are malnourished and desire a club of their own in order to evolve and become a top dog. Most wild Barbariana are actually female. And there they are. Habitat from Habitat and Tot evolves into Strutridge. From Strut,
An ostrich.
and ridge, a narrow hilltop, which is what Struttridge's body is supposed to
Ground-
be disguised as.
ground fighting.
Habitat are born looking like the plants and terrain of their environment. This allows them to camouflage.
I don't think ostriches can fly.
However, habitats are impatient and restless.
Too heavy.
They like to play and challenge other Pokemon to races, making them spotted by predators easily. Thankfully, habitats are skilled at kicking sand directly at the eyes
Like
of
they're
their foes,
BS in their
hastily running
speed.
away.
Should be fast. Ostriches are fast,
Pokemon
fast.
invite predators to test their own skills, since habitats are known to taunt their enemies as they run away. Their evolved form, Struttridge, pompously walks around its territory without a care in the world.
It does look cocky as
seemingly
shit.
confident in its cloaking abilities. In broad daylight, this Pokemon will stick its head in the ground to fully disguise itself. If it is somehow noticed or attacked, it will kick its enemy with enough force to project even a Hippowdon 50 feet away. Though it cannot fly, it can run and hop at incredible speeds and heights. Their wingspan is unexpectedly large, using them to intimidate their foes if all else fails. Here are their shinies. I love this color scheme. Its signature move, Mud Kick, has
I feel like
80
they're,
base power and a 30%
The shinies
chance
don't
of
work as
punching
much
opponent.
because like they're supposed to blend in.
Evolves into Seepoline at level 23, and then evolves into Thauer when traded. The name Halite comes from halite, also known as rock salt, and light because it's small. Seepoline comes from the sepal of a flower, and saline, a word that indicates a solution is salty. And Thauer comes from thaw and flower. Their ability is Rock Salt, which weakens Ice-type moves. And say hello to Suispan from the scientific family of pigs, and the saying Spick and Span, which means clean. It evolves
Cute?
from
Ugly.
Mysowine from Mysophobia, Suidae, and Swine. This Pokemon is always born sick, which traumatizes the babe even after the sickness is healed by its mother. Suispan has a nose-like gland that covers its snout and mouth that protects it from and filters out any germs. Its front hooves have a rubber-like texture that deflect any dirt. This Pokemon is obsessed with being clean, but must eventually overcome its fear as a ground type. Trainers will often help it
It
get
then
over its fears
becomes-
by letting it experience the
After it
world.
starts being
When
dirty, it
evolves,
becomes this.
gains the poison typing and is immune to almost all types of sicknesses. It has conquered its fears and is ready to experience life. It loves the feeling of mud since it regulates its body temperature, but it may have become a little too reckless and carefree, as it is known to track mud everywhere and leave prints. While it can't get sick, it is very
Can't fix
dangerous
that.
to
Ooh,
touch,
I like the shiny.
since its activities
I like the color of the shiny.
attract
That
diseases on the surface of its skin.
I don't know how to
Here are
describe
their
that.
shinies. And there you go. When given a psychic stone,
Girafarig?
evolves into Girafarin from
Psychic
Giraffe
stone.
and Kira.
Oh, like a water
It's
stone,
a
but like
dragon psychic type. When psychic energy made its tail start
That's
to become
scary.
more intelligent and controlling, the front half of Girafarig was forced to grow as well, in order to stay in control. It is now more destructive and powerful. It rules its tail half by intimidation and fear. The tail is rather
Dragon
intelligent now
psychic.
and knows to follow its front half. But now that the tail exhausts more energy, this Pokemon must constantly eat. The front head will eat all the leaves at the top of a tree, while the bottom will eat from the lower
looks like an
branches.
Aberon
It
face.
can eat an entire forest in 1 week,
I don't know why, but
it
that's
is
what it looked
intelligent
like.
enough to farm. It will use telekinesis to plant seeds to replenish
I like the
its food
shiny.
supply.
Oh, I like that
And
orange.
here it is, the flying dark type Plumace from
That's scary.
Plumage, Grimace, which is a twisted facial expression, and Ace. Its ability is Intimidate, cause look at this thing. And there they
Yeah.
are. Sparkter, the Sparky Spectre, evolves into the terrifying Jolt Terror at level
This
30.
looks like a ghost.
They either have the ability Static or Levitate. They move around super fast in a creepy electrified
That
fashion.
levitate would be
That's
insane.
really what inspired this Pokemon.
Not be able to get hit by ground would be insane.
Terrafract, from Terror, Refract, and Fractal, evolves into Terraflect at level 38.
It looks
the
like
ghost
a
dark type
Pixar.
known as the Reflection Pokemon. The pre-evolved form hides inside mirrors and other reflective objects. It comes out to play whenever a child says its name 3 times. It's mischievous and likes to startle adults, but is super playful and empathetic to innocent children. When it evolves, Terraflect begins to terrorize citizens around the region. It can even enter and exit reflections in a blink of an eye. It can inhabit any reflective surface, even those on or inside a body. Some are even powerful enough to enter the reflection
On
of
or
a
inside a
Pokemon's
body.
eye in the midst of a battle. Their bodies are constantly glitching out, as if they're being pulled
That's
back
weird.
into a parallel
That'd
dimension.
be crazy.
They're also one of the fastest Pokemon in existence. Meet Shiny for centuries.
What? They're one of the fastest Pokemon. Very clearly not.
It has been said that these Pokemon are from the second dimension and are driven wild by the third dimension. New studies, however, have shown that they are beings of mostly light particles and are actually native to our dimension. They seek material objects to inhabit since their DNA is very unstable. There you go. The Bug Electric type, Glottal,
Bug
evolves
electric.
into Luminsect
Like Surskit?
at
No,
level
that's
27.
bug water.
They come in the usual winter light colors.
It's like
It's
Fireflies.
only superficial though. They either have Volt Absorb or Illuminate with the hidden ability Strobe Light, which gives electric type moves an added 20% chance of confusing the target, alongside any other effects the move has. Say hello to Possessed, the Possessing Pest. This tiny Pokemon is very clingy. It'll latch onto those it seems fond of and slowly suck their blood. It floats around looking for life energy.
Okay,
it favors the blood of the most energetic of creatures. Their skin is translucent, making them disappear when empty, and fully visible when full and content. Here is Vermint, from Vermin
the evolution.
Okay. The soul data of the blood it has sucked is accumulated into a ball of physical energy. In order to maintain and store the energy it needs to evolve, it stays motionless and slowly floats in the air. It does not like to be bothered. They are completely full and don't need to eat until they fully evolve. The Ghost Flea Pokemon, Awfully. This Pokemon jumps around from host to host, collecting soul energy.
Like the top half looks way too small for the bottom half.
In its abdomen and ejects new possesseds once it's full. Awfully are very mischievous. They are able to phase through objects to get inside houses. However, they do not favor clean and sanitized locations. They can jump 50 times their size in a flash and continue floating upwards.
See, that's Phasmophobia 120.
In ancient times, these Pokemon were responsible for plagues, but with the advent of Pokemon training, they are able to be easily disposed of when met with a Pokemon battle. They'd rather hop away than fight. In battle, they project spirit energy from their behind. And there you have it. The fast but frail Torpices evolves into Duncraft at level 30. Torpices love...
Okay, so this is very clearly the speed of this, right? I just don't know how speed goes down.
To be launched,
I don't think that's a thing.
Fins.
It might be.
Their aerodynamic heads allow them to be launched at top speeds, but their armor isn't fully formed yet, so they usually self-destruct upon impact. The closer they are to evolution,
the they kamikaze
becomes. They aren't the best at changing directions while swimming. Their evolved form, Duncraft, is one of the most resilient Pokemon in the sea. They slowly swim through deep water.
A kamikaze, that's a hunting
machine, but it can also outlast any sea Pokemon in battle. When it isn't housing Torpices in its fins, it lets out jets of water from its fins in order to speed up or change directions. It can penetrate the hull of a vessel without much force. In ancient times, this Pokemon reigned supreme. Not even Sharpedo can breach its defenses. Now it has competition from the likes of Gyarados and Wishy-Washy. And there you have them, fully colored. The tiny...
This just looks like Wyvern, but there's rocks.
Stalagmite and Stagnant evolves into Actite from Stalactite and Active. Stagmites are covered in mineral deposits that drip onto its body from cave ceilings. This offers them protection and camouflage, but makes it hard to fly. They're unable to fly high, so they tend to stay on the ground all day, disguised as stalagmites to hide from predators. At night, they search for fruits. They have relatively good eyesight and smell to compensate for their lack of echolocation abilities. When they sense a predator, they immediately drop to the ground and pretend to be rocks. Stagmites evolve into Actite. This Pokemon has become big and strong as a result of constantly utilizing its heavy wings. Instead of hanging from cave ceilings upside down, it hangs using its sharp claws. As it looks down, if a strong enemy intrudes into its habitat, it'll drop down, spike first on top of its trespasser.
Kind of like the shiny.
It will not harm those
it's not,
weaker than it, though.
Not that much of a difference, especially just like the legs and snout. But
it's not the fastest flyer, but it's incredibly adept at climbing in combat.
There is no art for Estonian.
And there you go, Ice Furret from the Assam region.
Cool.
This Pokemon burrows into thick snow and creates holes that only it can enter with its slender body. Its white coat allows it to camouflage in cold weather, and its thick layer of fur keeps it warm in the lowest temperatures. As a result of living in high mountains with less amount of oxygen, these furs have more stamina. Its abilities are the same, but the stats are a bit different. Here's the shiny, and here's the
pink.
Assonian Furret evolves into Burret when leveled up in Hail. From Ferret,
leveled up in Hail.
Gold, but also because it sounds like beret, and this Pokemon has a little hat. The hat on Burret actually protects its head from intense hail. Its hat and scarf also work like antennae. It's able to sense changes in temperature miles away. This allows it to anticipate snowstorms, hot weather, and even incoming fire-type moves. Its thick coat is extremely dynamic. It's relatively hydrophobic, so melted snow doesn't soak it, and it's able to easily slide through sheets of snow.
The fur itself
is able to swim through snow and even collapse the tunnels it creates with its tail, as to not leave a trail leading to its hiding spot. It stores food in its scarf, and is able to preserve its favorite meals for years by instantly freezing them. Other Pokemon, and even collectors, envy its extreme length. When stretched, the average Burret is 10 feet tall, or
like the
3
pink.
meters. It uses its height to intimidate the fiercest of
10 feet tall when stretched?
Like
That's huge.
Jumping 100 feet into the air is not an uncommon ability among Burret. And here's my guy. Carbink, when leveled up while knowing Play Rough, evolves into Carbonk. From Carbuncle, Carbon, and Bonk. It just felt right, it's not gonna lie. Carbunk defends its fellow Carbink and their queen. The diamonds at the end of their arms are unbreakable and can be used to dig, block, and attack.
That looks like what's his name? Big Hero 6.
Repeatedly, but the average Carbonk prefers to, well,
I don't know why that's what
on
reminds me.
the head with a single devastating blow. If their queen is completely safe, these Pokemon are happy and carefree, but when their
It's a
colony
shiny.
is somehow in danger, they will efficiently fight until the threat is neutralized. Its ability is either Clear Body or Sturdy, but its hidden
Clear
ability
Body.
is Diamond Fist, which powers up punching moves. Its new signature move is
I like
Diamond
the shiny.
Punch,
Yeah, I
a
think I like
flying
shiny
move
more.
with 75 base power and 100% accuracy. It has a 30% chance of critical hit too.
Sonia and Azurill. So Sonia and Meryl's coming up. Okay, I lied. Sonia and Azumarill's coming up.
And here it is, Asonian
Fire Rock.
Azumarill, a fire rock type. It is
Azuma.
believed that the Azumarill
Azuma.
and Ason evolved after countless generations adapted to the harsh environment of a nearby volcano. Their skins dried out
40
and
for
hardened
the
to create
speed.
a protective shell, and their blood now boils. They are hot to the touch and more aggressive than the average Azumarill. These Pokemon are believed to have no nerves and therefore feel no pain. They use their dense tails to break rocks and create winding paths within volcanoes. Once a year, they will grow a new magma shell. They do so by cooling the lava on their body with their still intact water sac. Therefore, this Pokemon can still use a few water-type moves like Scald. It's slightly more defensive than Water Azumarill, but has a completely different move pool. Say hi to Zapuni, the Charge Pokemon. Zapuni is unable to hold on to the electricity stored in its body for too long. This is why Zapuni is always found grabbing onto something, slowly releasing its electricity. When threatened, it releases all of its energy in one big zap. It does this by either jumping onto its opponent and shocking them, or jumping up above its foe and releasing a bolt of electricity.
Little
The wild
cutie.
is found on the backs of its parents, giving them more energy to search for food. And Zapuni are incredibly shy and will look down when stared at. They are
It looks like a
physically
little,
slow, and it takes them a
I don't
long
know, the
time to
face
make
looks
small
like
movements,
Slothfly.
but using their electricity, they can hastily bounce around from place to place. Activolt, the Overload Pokemon.
Electric Fire is
The
pretty
electric
cool.
Fire type. It evolved from Zapuni at level 22. Activolt have learned to efficiently output their excess electricity by constantly moving their body. Sometimes they output so much electricity that they catch on fire. They release this fire from special ports on their armpits. They can even bite opponents with a mixture of fire and electricity. When they sleep, electricity builds up in their body until they naturally wake up when their armpits start to smoke. They can jump exceedingly high by letting out a jet of fire.
Looks
from
like a
their
little,
armpits. It's a cause of
kinda like
forest
Slackoth.
fires in the zone.
Ish.
They release
Or-
energy faster than they can
yeah, Slackoth.
process their actions. They're physically
Like the
unable
sloth
to
from,
concentrate for too long because the energy
Zootopia.
inside them will begin to surge. Scientists believe that when this Pokemon learns how to
I do like the
access
shiny.
energy into its brain, it's a sign that this Pokemon is close to evolution. Loris Surge, the Overload Pokemon. It evolves from Activolt at level
This is
78.
Kung Fu Panda, you
Loris
can't
Surge
tell
is
me any
able to
different.
control the maximum
Skinny
output
one.
of energy to every part
This
of
is a
its body,
Tigress
and even
and
amount of
Poe.
extra processing power to its
Had a
brain,
kid.
allowing it to think as quickly as it acts. The fur on its face is constantly on fire. Its head attracts electricity, allowing it to collect more
Surge.
energy. It searches for high-calorie meals. Its favorite fruits are the sweetest berries it can find. It converts the food it consumes.
Does
into
look cool.
gold. It can break boulders by amplifying the strength.
Electric
of its
Fire.
arms,
Is there any
and they are
electric fire
extremely
types?
flexible.
I don't think there
communicate
is.
with each other by leaving charred marks around their habitats. They have the ability to see heat, allowing them to see at night and over long distances. They're very proud Pokemon that will never show any weakness or inferiority. They have a signature move called Burning Thunder, a 90
Burning
base power
Thunder.
special move with a 10% chance of burning the opponent. Here is Virus
Ro-
Rotom, a poison ghost type.
Levitate.
This strain of Rotom is able to possess the body of people and Pokemon. It infects beings and then uses its round
106,
toothed spikes to
still
fight
pretty
off
fast.
the body's natural defenses. It has a limit though, since when all of its spikes have been defeated, it ejects out its vessel's
Ghost
body. Once
poison.
a Rotom has possessed a body, it cannot possess the same body again. It has been found that this Rotom uses its
that
vessel to create
makes
more
it, like,
normal Rotom
big
by
sick.
harnessing the electrical impulses of the vessel's body, consuming and then releasing these electrical impulses in accumulated balls. The electric type Rotom then becomes Rotom viruses when they glitch out while phasing out of a device. All of the electricity within that Rotom is left within the device, and the Rotom can no longer inhabit electronic devices. Here's the shiny.
Interesting.
It's less bulky but faster than Rotom's forms. It has the levitate ability since it can be airborne, but it
Yeah.
does have a new signature move called Infection. This low priority
Action's
move allows
poison type
Rotom
move,
to possess
probably?
its opponents until the opponent uses a damaging move. During this state, it cannot be hit, and all its moves become critical hits, but the move that ejects it out of the opponent's body is also a critical hit on Rotom. And here she is, Asonian
Spinda?
Spinda, a psychic type. Asonian
I like
Spinda's
that.
patterns are
I always thought
complicated
Spinda should be a
and never looks the same as it does minutes
Psychic
ago.
type anyway,
Other than
but
Spinda's movements confusing its opponents, its
apparently
movement patterns
I'm
are what
just
disorients
dumb.
its foes. Not only is Asonian Spinda able to walk in
360
straight
base
lines,
stat.
but it's also
Wow.
able to concentrate for a long time. It is said
Anyway.
that Spindas see visions in each other's patterns. They're unfazed by the ash and smoke in the atmosphere of their habitats. In fact,
Okay, so
their
it's still
volcanic
kinda
fumes
somewhere
make
like
them
Fall Arbor?
smaller. The hotter their environments, the faster their patterns move, and the more they think. It's believed that the Spinda evolved to benefit from their volcanic environment. They're actually hot to the touch. Their color is able to display their emotions too. Warmer colors mean passion, curiosity, and vitality.
Like a
while
mood?
cooler colors mean
Like a mood ring?
lethargy, sadness, and distaste. Their neutral state is purple. Here's its shiny. Its stats
I like the
are
blue and
slightly
green there.
different. It has the ability's own tempo and a new ability called Boiling Blood, which boosts Spinda's special attack when hit by a fire-type move. This also makes it immune to fire. Its hidden ability is contrary. Swirlava, the Twister Pokemon.
Oh my lord.
A fire and psychic type. It evolves from Asonian Spinda at level 35.
Okay.
When Spinda's boiling blood becomes too much for its body to contain, it bursts out in a vortex of psychic energy. Swirlava's gelatinous body is incredibly hot and constantly spinning. Not only are its patterns perpetually changing, but its form is completely fluid. It is able to control the speed of its rotation, unleashing devastating storms of lava. The faster it spins, the hotter it gets. It can telekinetically control its lava plumes. Its body stiffens if it slows down its vortex for too long. It is able to confuse and hypnotize its foes by spinning and changing its patterns. Corporations use this Pokemon's nearly perpetual motion to produce energy for its own. It can stretch its body to increase in height and width. It will consume all in its path if left.
I think I like the shiny.
It's pretty
straightforward. I understand.
Dwebble, but not.
What does it use its top thing for? What does it use?
To attack.
Oh right, that's what you guys do.
That's what we do in these games.
You capture them and you force them.
What was that? Just randomly?
Asonian Luxio, an ice
Ooh, an ice type. I would love to see Shinx.
and form sharp ice claws to
Ice
stab
fairy.
enemies. While it can't sense the aura within others like Asonian Luxray, it can control the aura that emanates from it and will rest its body and others to communicate with rhythmic pulses of aura from its whiskers. Their ears can pick up the signals of other Luxio, allowing them to aid those who have split from the pack.
I like the shiny. So kind of like it looks electric almost. I like that.
Prevent others from entering their territories.
Plus regular Luxray is also like there.
And there you have it.
They turn gold too.
It's said that this is the original Luxray, but they can only be found deep in the mountains and come out to hunt during the thickest of snowstorms. Only they can see through the endless white, using their eyes to sense the soul of any living being. When they locate their prey, they'll freeze them solid. While
Seems kind of rude.
Some Luxrays will show compassion to those trapped in snowstorms.
Will they?
Because they can tell whether a soul will harm them or not. They are great judges of character. And here is Cafrost, the insulated Pokemon.
Aww.
I know I spelled insulated wrong, by the way. Cafrost travel in herds. They cover their colorful spots in snow when traveling, as to not be detected by prey. But once they camp for the day, they immediately shake off the snow and begin their festivities. They're very proud of their hides. The more colorful and intricate their patterns, the more popular they become. Every night they gather to eat and play games. This makes them oblivious to the sub-zero temperatures they live in. Their heads are covered in
This has to have an evolution, right?
As protection and as a means of attack, using their glacial
Because this was looking like a baby cow. I feel like if it doesn't have an evolution, it wouldn't look like a baby cow.
Swords. Their fur is dense and soft.
Stupidly slow.
It traps in so much heat that no temperature in a zone is too low for them. Their perpetually frozen caps keep them cool when temperatures are above average. They are exceptionally friendly and love to travel alongside humans. Priovabos,
yeah, okay.
The insulated Pokemon.
This is like newer on camera.
From their bodies to attract mates and find lost members of
Still
the herd.
stupid slow
Their
though.
frozen horns and hump are used to battle. No predator can bite through its multi-layer hide. Humans have
I can't tell if I like the shiny. It doesn't look bad, but it's very Christmassy. I feel like I don't. Like it just reminds me of Christmas.
The milk of Cryovabos is miraculously sterile. It has been feeding humanity since Northern Asone was first settled. Since ancient times, Northern Asone's culture was centered around this Pokemon. They emulated this family in the food that they ate and the clothes that they dressed in.
What's Wailord look like?
And here's my big boy. It's 123 feet long and lives in ocean.
123 feet long. It's a worm. Wailmer becomes a Wailord. It's a worm.
Of sand. It won't live in any old desert. It has to be secluded. Millions of years ago, some Wailords developed horn tusks
I don't like
that
it.
they would use to drill. Just
This
how
is
the
like
Sahara
this is probably the first one that I'm like, no. I don't like it.
desert used to be a very tropical, fertile place and was even once a sea before the
Do
continent
not like
shifted.
that.
The habitat of Wailords slowly dried out and they evolved with it, becoming land Wailords that drilled into the sand to find nutrition. They actually tilled the untapped soil
I don't
and
care
helped
about the
bring
story.
nutritious
Nope.
earth and even water back up to the surface. They're responsible for the creation of a bunch of oases. Oases. Their blue
Oasis?
eyes are a little Easter egg for the Dune fans.
She loves
Castle.
Vicar.
It
You
evolves
like
from
that?
champagne
I don't know if
given
it looks
a
so
special
weird.
drink only found in the Asone region.
Ugh.
This Pokemon is now completely fortified and can shoot various liquids from its
I don't know why
tail.
it just gave me like
Depending on the
the
berries given to
heebie-jeebies.
it, the acidity of juice it shoots differs. It could rapidly shoot or let out one big blast. It is highly accurate, precise, and long-ranged. Its limbs
Speed
are
is still
constantly protective.
5.
In order to
Shuckle.
move, it uses hydraulics by blasting the liquid out of its bottom blasters. As a finishing move, it will rapidly spin while shooting in all directions. It will only let its trusted trainer pet its head. Here's the shiny. Its ability is either
It is blue.
bulletproof or a new ability called Artillery that boosts the power of ball and bomb moves. And here he is, the jovial Pokemon Cloud9 from Clown, K9, and the term Cloud9, considering this Pokemon is almost always
funny about
happy
you.
and carefree. It is said
Shuckle
that
deserves an
Cloud9 travel
evolution.
around the region, especially to places that desperately
Or just
need
to be
cheering
better.
up, and performs stupefying
I mean, it's
acts of
tanky.
magic. It can conjure illusions from its fire. Those that it likes will see wonder.
This just looks like
fires
a
this Pokemon
Joker.
conjures, while those it
That's what it looks
dislikes
like.
will see terrifying illusions. It is known to have disdain for authority and often gets itself into trouble. It uses sparks and embers as distractions and attacks when fleeing authority. Children around the region love Cloud9. This Pokemon sees
Children
itself
love
as a
him?
hero who uses humor to free his admirers from their
Looks
depression.
scary.
It is constantly on the move and very clever. That's right, this fire psychic Pokemon is in the same evolutionary
I like the
family
green.
as Delphox, Zoroark, and a distant cousin of Lucario, Petroluth, the purifying
A little
Pokemon
turtle.
from Petroleum, and Luth, a nickname for leatherback turtles, a water poison type Pokemon. This Pokemon snacks on all things poisonous. It will take in big gulps of
I
water,
really like
lethal pollutants,
the
and
green
release
eye.
pure water from the vents on
Again,
its
if it's
back.
green, I
They're
like it.
relatively hollow, and their body is completely covered in leathery skin. It's very well padded with blubber. It can survive in all aquatic environments. The population of Petroluth have increased dramatically since humans began to industrialize. Over the span of a generation, the waters in which Petroluth live will go from polluted to pure and teeming with life. A herd of Petroluth will migrate to dirtier waters once they've consumed all
It
its
wants
pollution.
bad water? Okay.
Petrodome, the purifying Pokemon.
This is like the
This
Loch
tiny
Ness
Pokemon
Monster.
is known to live around oil rigs and consume the oil that accidentally
Or
spills.
Lapras-ish.
Petrodome receives a steady supply of food and prevents other aquatic Pokemon from polluted water. The colors on Petrodome are iridescent and will change color when looked at from different angles. This confuses predators, and their body is covered in a layer of hydrophobic substances that allow it to easily glide through the water. All of its byproducts are environmentally safe. It can release pressure jets from its back and strong poisons from its mouth. It will offer rides to humans. In the Asone region, it's taboo to harm Petrodome. In ancient times, they were seen as dirty pests, but in modern Asone, they're worshipped. They have the ability
Really?
of water absorb and the new ability called Distillation.
What does
This gives them
distillation
a
do?
boost in
Okay.
their water type moves when hit with poison or ground type moves. They basically convert the dirt or toxins into water. Madama, from Madam and Ma, the jaws or throat of the beast. It's the fairy poison
The
type known as
snake and a
Split
cat?
Pokemon.
Ish.
This Pokemon is actually two linked sisters that care deeply for one another. One side prefers solitude, is very distrustful and protective of its sister. It produces a harmful poison and will bite those that will hurt its
Fairy
sister.
poison's kind
The
of
other
weird.
side is very compassionate, social, and trustful. It produces a healing nectar that is indistinguishable to its other half's poison. So it's wise to only accept a drink from this Pokemon if you've witnessed the compassionate sister produce it. The healing sister's nectar is the only antidote for the other sister's poison. If both sides come to an agreement, they will teach a trusted human in the ways of medicine and healing.
What?
Madama have passed down the knowledge of potions since ancient times. It is said that potions that heal Pokemon HP
I like the shiny, though.
first created with Madama's healing.
Kind of like Skeptile-ish.
They have kept
Skeptile and
themselves
some
in
Viper
the
mix.
zone, so they're not forced to aid in the conquest of evil men. And here he is, Trap, the trapdoor Pokemon. It camouflages itself in the wild and places berries right in front of
Like
its
a
face
spider?
to lure in prey.
Yeah.
When an unsuspecting Pokemon comes for a snack,
my.
it will quickly shut its front legs and trap them. There is no escape. Some smarter Pokemon who can tell that the berries are a trap will still try to swipe the berries, assuming that Trap's eyes are shut, but the tiny second pair of eyes are still watching and vigilant. It's a bug
Okay.
steel type with amazing defenses and a good attack stat. It has the ability Arena Trap and Compound Eyes with the hidden ability Swarm. Perhaps there are more versions of this Pokemon based on the environment it lives in. I don't know, but here's the shiny. It'll definitely help
I don't know
during
if he
fall.
didn't make it
I love
up.
shinies that turn foliage into fall leaves, but again, remember that these are not
Yeah, foliage and foliage. See, he gets
leaves. It's
it.
just fur that acts as camouflage. Its arms are as hard as steel, its exoskeleton is super tough, and not to mention it's a pretty big bug. Its walls are 6 feet tall. And there they are. Both forms of Menhis, from Menace and Hiss. The tropical form is
Okay.
a lively and dominating dragon grass type. It goes around eating a ton of fruit each day. It's a stingy herbivore that scares away any competition by shaking its tail, which makes a hissing sound from its leaves. Its ability
That
is
does look
simply
scary.
intimidate with the
Big
soundproof
python.
hidden ability. Its stats are honestly relatively balanced since it's big and strong, very
Except for
mobile,
special
and
attack.
it's super spiky for extra defense. Its deciduous form, on the other hand, is almost falling apart. It's a ghost grass type, and while
Okay.
it basically sits still all day waiting for prey to come to it so it can hypnotize them and steal their spirit for sustenance, it's actually surprisingly fast
That's scary
and will
too.
burst out with sudden speed to escape or attack. It is hollow after all. Unlike its other form, it's usually super quiet, and when it does make a sound, it's usually a traditionally creepy and scary noise like the crackling of its bark or a very hollow sounding hiss. Definitely a Pokemon to look out for when walking through a forest in the winter. And there you go. Kecleon evolves into the normal psychic type, Psycholion, when leveling up after learning
I like
the
that.
move,
I like
Strobe
the-
Surge.
I like the
A psychic
evolution
type
here.
move where it rapidly changes color and releases a beam of light with the chance of confusing the opponent. It has 60 base power and is always stab. The name Psycholion comes from psychic and psychedelic and psychopath. Like Kecleon, this Pokemon changes its colors to hide in its surrounding in order to catch prey. If the prey seemingly catches onto its disguise, it will appear out of hiding and flash its alternating colors, stunning its prey, allowing it to finish it off with its long tongue. The horns on its head release colorful beams of light that can overwhelm opponents.
So does it still
the
change?
color
Like, you know how Kecleon, if you hit it with like a water type move, right? It turns to water. Does it become water psychic?
whatever it hits.
That'd be cool.
It can see
It
in all
does.
directions, so it's constantly looking for others to attack. It likes toying with people by surprising them or making their objects float as if they're possessed. They are able to change into the ideal type of their surroundings in order to regulate their body temperature. Here's its shiny. I honestly prefer its shiny, but the normal color scheme makes more sense. Its ability is a new version of Protean called Pigmentation, with the hidden ability Mimicry. Salumin, a fire and dragon.
Fire
type
dragon.
Pokemon known
Okay,
as
is it
the
a
Spine
fossil?
Pokemon.
I think it's a fossil
It is
Pokemon.
derived from the Sunset fossil. It is believed that this Pokemon
Makes
once
sense.
roamed the desert 100 million years ago, absorbing sunlight with its tail. It would unleash the heat from its spine and burn prey within a 50-foot radius. This allowed it to easily hunt and consume in a carefree
I like
manner.
the shiny.
Crystal-like bones that
Looks
protrude
cool.
out of Salumin are the hottest part of its spikes. It's able to shoot out precise beams of energy from these spikes.
What's the
Radiate
evolution?
from vertebrae and radiate. When Salumin hits level 40 and is brought to a specific
Oh, so it only has
site,
one evolution? Like it
they're
does.
able to be
I like it.
reconstructed
I mean, that
and
makes sense.
evolve
Like
into a
Kabuto,
more accurate
Kabutops.
evolved form, based on new data that the scientist has accumulated. It is now believed
This
that
is another
form is a more
evolution.
accurate reconstruction of how this Pokemon existed in ancient times. It lived in a more lush and wet
I
environment.
don't think there is
The
a
Isonian Desert was
possible
once
one that
covered
has
in water.
3 forms.
It would sit in rivers with only its spine elevated above the water and unleash powerful radiation from its spine, instantly boiling the water and cooking its aquatic prey. Its meal would conveniently rise
like
up
the
to
shiny.
surface, and Bradiate would happily eat it. Pokemon would mistake a partially submerged Bradiate for a distant sunset over the horizon. It would actually release heat
How
from
big
its
is it?
tail, allowing it to slightly propel itself through the water. Basilapis, a water
The other
dragon
fossil?
type
Okay.
Pokemon, known as the Aquasnake Pokemon. It is revived from the Moonrise fossil. It is believed to have dominated the ocean 40 million years ago.
Does its evolution look
Pokemon
like
that has adapted to
a
this
Loch Ness monster?
It's thought to have spent most of its time in shallow water.
I feel like it
was
has
this
to.
land Pokemon that waded in the water. This reptilian Pokemon has strong jaws that it can both unhinge and snap shut, allowing it to take down Pokemon.
I like the
of
shiny,
similar
it's
size.
green.
They're very positive and enjoy swimming
match.
in mud, but must return to the water or else they will dry up. They don't swim too deep because they need the sunlight to regulate their body temperature. Drownormus, a water dark type known as the Long Whale Pokemon. When Basilapis is level 40 and brought to a specific scientist later in the game, they're able to be restructured and evolve into their more accurate evolved form. It's now understood that
Does it have a
Drownormus
second
was
evolved
actually a
form?
mammal and early relative of Wailord. It would pull down aquatic Pokemon into the darkest depths of the ocean and return for a breath of air once it has conquered its prey. Their flippers are very muscular and their bodies incredibly long. Drownormus are rather intelligent and have varied personalities that range from anti-heroic to especially cruel. No Pokemon can escape its clutches. Their hind legs have evolved into spikes, and they can see far into even the darkest of water. Paraterra.
Okay,
from
no,
Terra
that was just it.
Centurion, and Terra, the hornless Pokemon.
Is that
derived
another
from the
fossil?
fossilized Rhino, a
Okay.
normal and ground type. This giant Pokemon was
many
the
fossil-
largest quadruped in Pokemon history.
Pokemons?
They would
Hey,
roam
fossil
groups
Pokemon.
searching for fresh vegetation. They have tough earth hides that protect them from heat and impact. When threatened, they charge and headbutt their
Almost
opponents.
ground.
Their skull is heavily reinforced, and may be the reason they were so well preserved. They are ancestors of Rhydon, and the lump of hard earth they have on their snout is thought to have evolved into Rhydon's horn. The stomping of their dense legs causes the earth to shake. They're quite tranquil and will only attack those who persist. If a small Pokemon annoys
The
them,
shiny's okay.
they'll just shake their bodies or turn the other way. And what do you know? Druddigan, when traded holding a stone skull,
Okay, so that one doesn't have an evolution. This looks wow.
evolves into Druddigan, These Pokemon were hunted in ancient times to the point of extinction. Only by wearing the skull of its ancestor will a Druddigan evolve into the terrifying Druddigan. Their entire
the
body
skull of its
other than
ancestor?
their underbelly is covered in rugged and jagged rocks.
Kinda
While it can defeat
mean.
its prey in a number of ways, with every single appendage, it prefers to finish off its opponents with its sharp tail. This Pokemon can fly to an extent. It prefers to make giant
Digivolved.
leaps. It hoards treasure in the vast mazes
48
of
speed.
the caves of mountains. It will taunt those brave enough to enter its domain because it loves to battle. It'll lure in enemies into its inescapable labyrinths and camouflage into the rocks and shadows of its abode. Here is Alluvion, the deposit Pokemon,
Eevee
named after
evolution,
the deposit
yeah.
of clay, dirt,
Evolution?
and sand that collects at the delta of rivers like the Nile, which makes the land around them fertile. Eevee evolves into Alluvion
Okay.
when leveled up while holding special soft sand in the deserts of
Hold
the
up. So this is on region. Okay. Modernized. Less modernized?
Alluvion's cellular structure is similar to sand. It can divide itself into grains of sand and disappear into the desert sky. It uses this as a form of travel, floating in the wind,
Can
to hide
divide
while
itself
hunting for
into
prey,
grains of
and to flee from danger. The sand from Alluvion's body has collected throughout the zone, making some locations very fertile. In ancient times, it was worshipped as a
What
fertility.
if it's shiny? How is it shiny?
Alluvion is very quiet and subtle in its movements. It's a very proficient hunter. It can easily hide and has an amazing sense of hearing. Alluvion can control the sand and dirt around it. It can create an armor coating of stiff sand that protects its body, and even increase the density of its limbs, giving it the ability to land harsh blows. Its eyes are covered in special film that prevents sand from damaging its eyes. Its night vision is superb. Scout Drakeon, the draconic
Dragon,
Pokemon. It evolves
evolution,
when leveling
okay.
up while holding
Holy
a dragon scale, where the
I didn't even see this part of the map on the other one.
right here on the map. Every settlement in a zone has a different perception of Drakeon. Some villages find it beautiful, some find it to be a grotesque mutation of the pure Eevee. Some find it benevolent, able to cure ailments and grant wishes, while some believe it is destructive and greedy. It's true that Drakeon are very fickle. They are very intelligent, and each has a drastically different personality.
Looks
They
wise.
master all natural
Like,
elements and
the
inhabit all sorts of locations.
beard
They're very
kind of thing?
possessive and
That makes it
regard
look
any object or person
old.
they deem precious. Their horns have been a key ingredient in Asonian medicines for millennia. Drakeon are able to live incredibly long lives, longer than any evolution.
So
It is
slow.
said that the
I just
Asonian lords who love these
bias on the
would
speed?
evolve them into Drakeon so that they can be with them for the rest of their lives. Unfortunately,
That
that meant that
evolutions are
these
usually
Drakeon would
fast.
outlive their trainers by many years. They have the ability Levitate and the hidden ability Natural Cure. Behold Metallion, the armor Pokemon. Evolves from Eevee when defeating 3
I don't know if I
consecutive
like this
Pokemon
one.
and holding ancient armor. Metallion have been used in battle since ancient times. In the heat of war,
Looks like one of those
soldiers were
Robo-Dogs you got as a
desperate to
kid.
evolve their Eevees into Metallion to help in combat.
I do like
They
the
ultimately
green
refrained from using
shiny.
their beloved Eevee in actual war. These battle-ready Pokemon would instead be used in competitive Pokemon battles during peacetime to utilize their battle spirit. Only the strongest of Eevees can inherit ancient
Looks like you
armor
just put
and
armor
evolve
on a
into
dog.
Metallion. This gave them the defense they needed to fully utilize their abilities without guarding themselves. No sword can cut through Metallion's armor. They use their horn to pierce the armor.
First off, how'd they find that out? I just want to know who took a sword. This is a metal sword. Yeah, I just want to know who took a sword, though, to the Metallion. I just want to know who tried it and figured out it doesn't work.
Enemies and brandish their tail to cut any foe that decides to attack from behind. They're quite flexible but not too fast on account of their weight. They're brave, courageous, and valiant. They crave action and love to save others, but this makes them impatient and bored easily when not active or not in the spotlight. Beware Spectreon, the Spectre
Ooh.
Pokemon. It evolves from an Eevee whose happiness is maxed out when fainting in this forest in a zone. When a truly happy Eevee has a near-death experience, it's given
Sounds
spiritual
huge.
abilities from the ghosts of Pokemon who fell in ancient Asonian wars. Its love for its trainer returns it to the land of the living with the ability to evaporate. It can become intangible, walk through walls, disappear, and fly. It's much more unique than the other evolutions. Spectreon can talk to spirits and summon powers from the land of the dead. It can see the soul of all
Scary.
living beings, and is happy to know that its trainer's soul is pure. Wild Spectreon are formerly trained Spectreon whose trainers have passed. They roam a zone, helping spirits move on to the afterlife. When they find a new trainer with a pure soul, they will secretly follow them. They can possess the bodies of others
Secretly
for a
follow
few
them? Yeah,
minutes.
that's the thing in
Spectreon
nightmares.
will only use this ability as a last resort. Let's talk about Infantrek. From infantry, infant,
So,
information,
salamander.
trek, and record. Infantrek is agile.
That's a
able to
crazy
cross
amount of
territories
different words to put
undetected.
into it.
This tiny Pokemon stores toxic gas inside its body. The gas can be manipulated by its higher-ranking evolved forms to cause chemical burns on its scales that create marks. These dots and dashes are actually messages. Its superiors will send Infantrek on long journeys to communicate plans between
it's
their
a-
kind. When this Pokemon is done
like
with
a
its
little
mission, it sheds its
carrier
skin
pigeon.
and therefore the marks that are on it. discarding the secret messages and allowing for new messages to be created. If in trouble during their mission, Infantrek will spit out all the toxic gas it has stored and quickly run away as its enemy is temporarily immobilized by the strong nerve agent. At level 30, Infantrek evolves into Cap Toxic, the Toxic Captain.
Okay.
Cap Toxic set out on missions with other comrades and a group of Infantrek that they can
What
command.
missions are they going?
They are way more vicious and prioritize the success of missions over the well-being of its lower-ranking inferiors. The gas in its body has built up to the point where the dots and dashes it once had have raised above its skin. These hard bubbles are used for padded protection. If it has taken too much
I do like the
heating,
shiny.
these bubbles burst and release toxic
I like
gas,
the shiny.
allowing it to gain the advantage in battle. It stores a particularly lethal dose of venom in its mouth and hands. It uses its toxic claws and tongue to inject
This one
harmful
didn't turn
toxin.
purple, right?
Here is
I
our
don't think it
fully
did.
evolved pseudo-legendary Pokemon,
Oh, it's
Virulent.
pseudo.
From Virulent and
With only 600,
its
something
translucent
earlier had
skin
70
reveals
though.
the toxic chemicals that this Pokemon is mostly comprised of. It is able to withstand the most deadly substances on Earth. Its neck is swollen with gas. Once this Pokemon slightly opens its mouth, it releases toxins that can knock out an entire village. The chambers on its cheeks help filter different kinds of gas for different purposes, even oxygen and hydrogen. In some
It looks like
locations,
it's like one of
illegal
those
to train one without a
hazmat
license.
suits almost.
Presenting the Forbidden Knowledge Pokemon, Azarera. From Azazel, Azar.
Is this a legendary? Hold
Wyatt,
up.
which means us in Japanese.
Is this the legendary? I guess we're getting close to the end. There's so many more Pokemon. There's no way they showed legendary then, right?
Us. And finally, Era, since it ushered in the modern era of
No,
humanity.
legendary has base stat
Psychic
700, right?
Steel. This Pokemon was worshipped by
This is
men
for
in ancient times,
legendary? Okay.
as it came down from heavens to teach man how to forge tools necessary to live in the dangerous world of Pokemon. It has the ability to conjure minerals and construct anachronistic devices. In ancient times, humans would present it with materials, and
Psychic Steel
Azarera
like
would
Galaxy
use
or something?
telekinesis to instantly combine parts into a working machine.
I don't know if
Some
Galaxy
say that it
Steel.
was the wisest
Those
Pokemon on
kinda-
Arceus' council and
Might
spent
be.
millennia
don't
learning
remember.
all there is to know about the world. Some scholars believe that it came down to Earth because it pitied humans and wanted to share the knowledge it had accrued. Others believe it hated Arceus' creations and wanted Pokemon to be subjugated by the most intelligent species on the planet. Either way, the gradual development of humans brought them into conflict with Pokemon and eventually led to an ancient war that thankfully ended in permanent peace and understanding between human and Pokemon. Since then, this Pokemon was blamed for the escalation in conflict. Some say Pokemon like Alakazam are descendants of this Pokemon. It has the ability Forge, which allows it to
I like the
manipulate
shiny.
any health
That's what
item
matters.
used up
I like
in
the
battle,
shiny.
like Harvest, but for any item. Here is the hidden technique Pokemon, Shemorera. From Samyaza's Hebrew name, Shemhazai, Shemar, Hebrew for kept or guarded, and Sorera, Japanese for them or those. As in, it guarded them, the Pokemon. It's Fighting
Okay.
Ghost. This Pokemon appeared in ancient times and taught Pokemon how to utilize their elemental powers in the most effective ways. It became a leader of Pokemon as they became more powerful. It has no nerves and therefore feels no pain. It is the ultimate soldier
That's
and
from
sparring
the
partner.
box
It will
legendaries.
go into
Okay.
battle without any doubts. It is said that it was once Arceus' personal warrior. It learned every technique imaginable. Some say it was also a disciple of Giratina, who imprinted its violent disposition onto Shemorera. Some scholars believe it pitied Pokemon and wanted them to rise to their full potential, while others say it wanted Pokemon to gain enough power to eventually rebel against humans. Nobody knows if it instigated or regretted the ancient war between humans and Pokemon. The deceased Pokemon that
So what are the rest of the
fought
Pokemon they're gonna
the
show?
war
Just
became
other
its
legendaries or
martial
mythicals?
and its descendants became what is known to be Machamp. Side note, it's kind of the reason Machamp has a beak. Some ancient religions even worship this Pokemon as it taught Pokemon techniques that their humans could utilize
I like
to
the
benefit
shiny.
humanity as well. Its ability is Technique, which not only boosts the power of not very effective
The one
moves
side
like
with-
Tinted
the
Lens does,
side-
but also boosts
yeah.
the power of neutral moves. It's a devastating Pokemon. And here he is, the emissary Pokemon, Emissaroth.
Okay,
It
so
is
this is
fairly
the
dark.
third, like this is
It's
like the
direct
Rayquaza
messenger
of the
Arceus.
Kyogre ground
Scholars believe
situation.
that it
This,
has
right?
no will of its own. It only does what Arceus tells it to. It will take all of its commands literally.
That's
and
why I
won't
mean, it
doubt
looks
their
like Arceus.
importance. It has no remorse, and it is debatable whether or not it has compassion. In ancient times, it was sent to deal with the outcome of Shemorera and Azarera's exploits. Unfortunately, conflict did break out. Nobody knows what the final straw was. It is said that it created the Pokemon Absol in its own image so that Absol could sense whenever another disaster would
I
occur.
can see
In
that.
its emissary form,
Ooh.
it has the ability Pressure, but when
I like
facing
the
a
all-white.
Pokemon with a base stat total of 600 or higher, this Pokemon reveals its true form, its Revelation form. In this form, it has the unique ability Hysteria, which makes any Pokemon that saw it change forms go mad. The Pokemon
crazy.
will not be obedient anymore, as if you don't have enough badges to train it. Of course, this Pokemon, like all with its base stat total, isn't allowed in official battles. I hope you understand that this Pokemon
Really
is
like
supposed
shiny.
to look uncanny and weird, Unlike any Pokemon, its rings spin super quickly and the body in the middle vibrates so intensely that it appears blurry. It's scary to look at it when animated. Say hello to Crocosmic, the infinite Pokemon.
How's this?
Pokemon floated through the clouds in ancient times, consuming all in its path. Its stomach is infinite
This is like a
contains
mythical?
atoms and molecules in order to create new elements and chemicals. The easiest molecule this Pokemon
Its
can
hidden
create
ability
and
is the power of
compose is
alchemy.
water. Water is this Pokemon's most common byproduct. In the past, this Pokemon would bring water to land suffering from drought. It would telekinetically cause the rivers of Asone to overflow with nutrients that nourished crops.
I really like the
It was
shiny.
worshipped in ancient Asone and would be offered rare minerals on the highest of altars for Crocosmic to swoop down and consume. Thousands of years ago, this Pokemon went on a hysterical rampage and
says
flooded the
100
region
base
of Asone. Once it came back to its
Oh,
senses,
confused.
it telekinetically lowered the tides, forming Asone's modern landscape, and then secluded itself in shame. Various Asonian landmarks were made as a
Category
result of this
infinite.
Pokemon's flood, like a submerged ancient city and a salt-filled sea where all the salt from the flood accumulated once the water receded. It has a new ability called Assimilation, which boosts its special attack stat when hit with a special move, since it just consumes and reassembles these elements. Its hidden ability is the power of alchemy. Nomadifice, the structure Pokemon. From the words nomad and edifice, a large imposing building. These colossal Pokemon roamed ancient Asone and
Like a
herds.
bearded
Many
dragon.
Pokemon would take refuge in their crevices and cliffs, eating the plants that grew on them, receiving shade and even drinking
God,
the
hold
water
on.
that
Look at the size. Look at that thing.
pooled on its back.
That's wild.
Ancient Asonians revered this Pokemon's generosity and felt it appropriate to
Like-
make this Pokemon useful even after its life has ended.
Jesus.
Speculated that the
It's huge.
skeletons of these Pokemon were used as the structure of pyramids found in Asone. The numbers of Nomadifists slowly diminished over thousands of years. It is thought that their size could not be sustained, especially with their oddly shaped bones. Ancient Nomadifists were 7 times larger than their living descendants. They used to be 450 feet tall. They have this new ability called Giant Scale. It's basically their version of Multiscale, so since their scales are huge, the damage they take when their HP is full is halved. Here is Makog, the invading Pokemon. Makog is a combo of Macaque and Magog, but also has a cog, a piece of machine in his name, as a reference to his metal parts. The other
Okay.
invading Pokemon, Babog, is Baboon and Gog. It used
Okay.
to be Bog as well, back when I thought of making it a ground type. Babog is more expressive and can expand and contract the mineral armor on its body. It can break off its tail and use it as a spear, instantly growing another tail. Makog is very stoic and his tail is exceptionally long. In battle, it holds it like an axe. They're both
I like the
rather
pink
intelligent
shiny.
and knowledgeable in combat. They tend to stay away from humans. These two sibling Pokemon would roam Asone in ancient times, training and challenging strong Pokemon. If they succeeded in battle, they would plunder the resources of their foe and give it to Pokemon that inhabited their domain. Makog would bring precious metals to its icy home, and Babog would bring back food to its arid environment. Thousands of years ago, when Pokemon and humans were at odds, these Pokemon went hysterical and began to attack humans, alongside many other Pokemon. However, another legendary Pokemon, who seemed to be unfazed by the hysteria, was able to defend humans from Babog and Makog's rampage. After this event,
Yeah, who
these
was
two
it?
went into hiding. They both have the ability Battle Armor and the hidden ability Defiant. Alexeno, the reinforcement Pokemon, a fighting fairy type.
Okay.
Its name comes from Alexander, which comes from the Greek Alexandros, which comes from the words to ward off, defend, and protect men. And Zeno,
Fighting
a prefix
fairy?
for foreigner, since this Pokemon is basically a foreign Pokemon that came to the aid of the humans of Asone. This Pokemon has the ability
So we found
to
it. This is the
reinforce any
Pokemon.
object with its roar, controlling the density of armor and even bodies. While it was unable to solely end the ancient wars, it would roam around Asome using its fairy magic to strengthen the shields and armor of brave warriors. It can create barriers and force fields that repel moves and abilities. During the hysteria, when Babog and Makog attacked Asone's central city,
Babog
this
and
Pokemon
Makog.
reinforced the city's walls
Okay.
and fought back the
So
hysterical
this is the Pokemon
humans.
that helped. That makes
These
sense.
walls stayed unbreakable till modern times. Alexano's armor is actually hardened fur. Its horns are indestructible. No substance can scratch them. It has the ability Stamina and the hidden ability Mold Breaker, implying that the Alexano that withstood Hysteria has its hidden ability. It has a new signature move called Reinforcing Roar, which boosts the defense and special defense of the user and its ally in battle. The Glass Child Pokemon, Adelusa.
What the hell is
Adolescent
that?
Adolescent. That just means he's a kid with light shining through him. In fact, he can learn almost all light-based moves like Dazzling Gleam, Luster Purge, Flash Cannon.
That
Its
was
special
scary.
attack actually gets a boost when it's
Like
holding one
a
of its
weird
glass
scary.
emanations.
Not like a
It's
oh
actually
I'm
another
terrified,
ordinary
but like a
Pokemon
weird.
since it's timid, but super friendly when it can sense how kind you are. It loves giving glass sculptures as presents. Its ability is Clear Body and a new ability called Light Flare. Since it's very refractive, sometimes light shines through it and blinds the opponent, so physical moves have a slight chance of missing.
Okay.
There it is, the mythical Pokemon, Kameda. from Comet and Meta, meaning beyond.
Does it evolve
broad
from?
psychic type. I think
I don't remember
Evolved
these
to make it a
names.
separate species. It's not an evolution of Minior, but rather
Oh,
a super rare
okay.
and ancient mutation of Minior. It has the power to summon meteors
Name's
and
Minior.
can move at the speed of one. It flies through space looking for missions. In ancient times, this Pokemon would protect the Earth from any meteor. It was worshipped by a few ancient cultures, but at one point, this Pokemon became hysterical for a short period and accidentally unleashed a giant meteor that made a few species of Pokemon go extinct. In shame, it exiled itself and hasn't returned to Earth. It is said that it will only come back when the...
Okay, I'm not being a stickler here. I just want to double check. So 120 plus 120 is 360. Okay, yeah, that's
Earth
right.
needs it most.
I don't know. I'm
This
dumb.
Pokemon seeks redemption for its ex. It is also said that it sends Miniors as peace offerings. It wants to brighten up the night with the spectacle of falling Minior. Minior in space hold it in high regard and still treat it with respect. They offer up the most valuable space dust
Minior in
for Meta to
space.
consume, so it's constantly changing colors. Here's its shiny. This
I like the
Pokemon
shiny
has a
though.
new
I do like
ability
the
called
black.
Asteroid Power, which boosts the power of all cosmically named moves, like Draco Meteor or its signature move, Comet Clobber, a base 90 rock move with 90% accuracy that sets up Stealth Rock if the move misses. It's both a physical and special move because it hits with the meteors that it summons and himself. Dracosmic, the containment Pokemon. This Pokemon is said to have an infinite amount of space inside its belly. It can consume and release all sorts of energy.
It's like a
It was
black
formed in
hole.
space and came to Earth to absorb the most precious form of life-sustaining energy, love. Aww. And if you loved this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you know when tomorrow's video comes out, detailing the post-game...
That's kind of crazy. That's a lot of Pokemon to come up with. Get crazy amount of Pokemon to come up with. I have to pee though. I'll be right back. I also gotta hit Miller to see when he's. I think it's so total is like a region. And like the Pokemon in it, I think it's cool. Some of them, I don't know. Like there's a couple of them that I don't feel like could be actual Pokemon. But majority of them could pass off as regular Pokemon for sure. And I like it. I think I need to like watch the rest of them eventually to get a better understanding because like that region looked huge, like insanely big. Also, I think it'd be cool if they made like the actual game out of it. Like you know how like there's fan made games and stuff like that. I think they should do that with that. Since they have all the Pokemon, right? Just have somebody put the game together in like RPG Maker. I think that would I think it'd be cool. Trying to think of. I liked the evolutions. I wasn't the biggest fan of Metalion. Like out of all the evolutions, he was my probably least favorite of those three. Trying to think. Yeah, I think that's basically my thoughts on it. Probably watch the other ones eventually too. My team. I'd go grass starter. That's what I would do. Go grass here. I'd go grass starter. I'd probably have starters. I'd probably have kept Torrent on my team just because the water flying type's nice. I usually have like you'll probably be able to learn like ice type moves and stuff like that. So I'll probably have him as well. As far as I'd have the fire electric person. Where's he at? I'd have. Is it? I would have. I don't know how far it is in here. Here. I'd have Laura Surge on my team to cover electric and fire. I'd also have. Trying to think of what else I would need. I wouldn't need Unpheasant. I might go Lux Ray here. Oh my god. I might go Lux Ray for Ice and Fairy. Alright, that's 4. I like the Lux Ray. I would go here, but I just don't need Psychic or Fire. I mean, Psychic wouldn't be bad. I don't need any of these. I'd probably go. I'd go Drakeon probably because I want Dragon on my Dragon Rock. I might go Dredagon, but I think I'd go with. I'd probably have one of the evolutions, but it would probably be Drakeon on my team. And then I need one more Pokemon. Not kind of legendaries. Not gonna count them. What would I need on my team? Ghost Grass, no. Fairy Poison, no. Wouldn't need that. Have that. Wouldn't need that. Maybe Terrafect or Terraflect, whichever one's. Yeah, Terraflect. Maybe Terraflect. Ghost Dark. Handle any psychic types. I think that would be my 6. Grass starter. Water flying. Pokemon. The electric fire Pokemon. Drakeon. Luxray. For the Ice and Fairy. And then Terraflect would probably be my team. I'd be the Dolphin, Phasma, Torrent, Drakeon, or Assassin. Lower Surge, and the Poison Lizard Pseudo Legendary. Yeah, that might be a good team. I'm trying to think of. Kind of weak to Ice, though. I mean, I don't know. Not because Lower Surge would bully Ice. I lied, don't listen to me. But yeah, I think that would be my 6. It's a nice Pokemon. This looks straight like Jigsaw, though. Jigsaw. What the hell is Jigsaw playing? Just Jigsaw. You want to tell me that these aren't the same person? This is Jigsaw. If Grassassin was real, it'd be very popular. Grassassin's scary. Grassassin is scary, though. I'm not gonna lie. That'd give me nightmares. Where's Grassassin? So, Torrent. I think I'm going too far. Grassassin. That is scary. Like, that's way too human and bug for me. Like, Lurantis freaks me out. I think it's Lurantis. Lurantis? Pokemon? Freaks me the hell out, dude. You think being scary would make it less? It'd probably make it more popular. Yeah, it would. Like this, like bugs give me the heebie-jeebies in general. I almost forgot. Okay. Chase, I thought you were going to bed. Chase, come get beaten, GeoGuessr though. But yeah, this is thing of nightmares. I do like the color scheme. I think it's a good. Bug Dark is also crazy. honestly think it's one of the best designs. I do think I think you can tell closer towards the end, or at least like with this one to me, the very last one shown, like just not as much detail, which makes sense, right? I think there's some of them that you can see. Chase, get in here and get beaten, you guys. You don't have to. Like there's some of them that you can tell that he didn't take as much time on. You know what I mean? That's fine. That's fine. Those are definitely fine. I can't. There was one that stuck out to me. I just didn't look as much effort. I don't remember which one it was, and there was a lot, so I don't know if I'd be able to find it. By scrolling through. That wood stick. This is my least favorite. Wood stick. What? Are you talking about the here? This? Oh, that wood stuck in ice is my least favorite. Okay, I'm still confused. No. Yeah, okay, yeah. Stuck in the ice. What was stuck in the ice? Something over here. No. Ice. This? Am I stupid? It's in the middle. Okay. This? Stuck in the ice. Stuck in the ice. I will find it. Do you remember its name? This. This is what you're talking about, right? This. I like, yeah. Yeah. It doesn't look that. Yeah. Yeah. It's very mediocre. I agree. Yeah, it's not like that. Not look that good. I concur. So I have two options. One, I can intro. Two, I do something for an hour and 20 minutes while I wait for Miller to get on and we play like Phasmophobia. Which, technically, I could do. Here's my thing. I could start some Renegade Platinum, which I have ready, hooked up, like ready to go type stuff. Like it's been sitting in the background type stuff, right? Could do this, or I could play like GeoGuessr. I don't know which one to do. Phasmac line. It does that. Yeah, it does look cool. Just had that pulled up. It does look cool. There's a lot of Pokemon I do like. I really like my Tiana in general, right? So that line, I don't have mixed feelings for. I don't like that. Yeah, yeah. I agree. It's not that good. Does not look that good. So a buddy of mine is in the or is in the academy, police academy, and they got maced today. Like, cause you have to get maced stuff like that. He got maced today. Uh, he edited stream. I'll go to D. Okay. Okay. Like the concept actually badly? Yeah. It's not that good. Okay. Still a thing of GeoGuessr? How good do you think I do here? Put on some musica. Do one game of GeoGuessr, then see how hard it is? Dude, I don't know. How much do you think I could cheat at GeoGuessr? Okay, I still have no idea if we're north or south hemisphere. Okay, I think we're in the good old US of A. Unless waste management is global, in which case I'm about to get bodied here. Yeah, we're definitely not in Europe. Finest sign that you're watching. Yeah, it was good. It was a good watch. It was a good recommendation. Nice watch. Ogden. Why does that sound from Ogden? Welcome to Ogden something. It says welcome to Ogden. I don't know what that word says. 36. I don't know where Ogden is. Ogden. Yeah, I can't read that. Ogden. Probably gonna be small. I don't want to cheat. It says what, 36? No, we'll figure that out later. Okay. We're driving some more. Is Ogden, Pennsylvania? I should recommend this order. Region, layout, gym leaders, and story. Okay. I was. I don't know where Ogden is, you guys. Do we? No sign there? I thought there was a huge sign there. I want to at least be accurate on the first one. If I'm not accurate on the first one, Western New York. Okay. Western New York. We love that. Got some hype music for it. Okay. Do I see an Ogden? I don't know how close I have to be to the Ogden. Screw it. And boom. Western New York. That's close. It's close-ish. The map you saw in the video was incomplete. That big map was incomplete? That's wild. We're in Europe. The huge map was incomplete? I forgot. That's crazy. How big is it? Oh, I'm back. I want that sign. That helps me none. Excuse me. Okay, I guess we're here. Position texture wise. Okay. I don't know this language. Like at all. I need a website. The problem with like this island, right? Like with the different lettering, right? Poland has some of it, right? The little arrows. Hold on, where's Slovakia has little arrows. It does not tell me what country it is. Problem. Anyone know what flag that is? I don't know what flag that is. If I knew flags, this would be a lot easier. On the side. About a full send. Slovakia. Oh, hold on, maybe there's a website on this. Hello. I can't read it. That means food line. I know for a fact that means food line. Do you have a website? .com. That's unfortunate. Can we have a not.com? Hello. If I actually go into that region, I think that's a thing that I would like with those fan-made stuff, is if they went. Don't sound bad. Oh, it's Romania. So close to Bucharest. It's off, but still. I think a lot of the stuff with that, like fan-made games, in general, fan-made regions, to put a little, like, I mean, you have the story and stuff, right? I get it. Do like a little short of just kind of how it would go. I have no idea where I am. We're in the middle of nowhere. The trees. Alright, what do you say? Okay. I didn't see the area code. Where would you think Ash would? Ash would have gotten. Ooh. He'd have probably gotten the fire starter. I'd say he'd have gotten the fire starter. Trying to think like in line with what he would get next. I think they try to switch it up. Salem. Okay. Are we in Oregon or Massachusetts? I think we're in Salem, Oregon. I don't know for sure. Waynesboro? Why am I going here? Alright. Is Waynesboro a placeholder? Or Pulaski? Actually, no, that's definitely mean. I think these two are one he usually gets, yeah. I think he'd probably start with fire, and then... Actually, I don't know where he'd go next. Where's Salem? Screw it, I'm sending it here. I could be completely wrong. Oh, Tennessee? I was really wrong. Salem Church of Christ. Oh, who knows? Like this is like a place I shouldn't know about. Can I walk up here? No? You not let me up there? I think, I mean, the elephant would be a nice travel companion. Too. I feel like this is a famous place I don't know. I'm in the Northern Hem, though. I have no idea. I count that as a win. Yeah. Pokemon like that in the show, like starters interacting with others and Ash. Always nice. Yeah. I like I like when old Pokemon come back. That makes sense, like Charizard coming back and stuff like that. I like that. A lot. Am I in Hawaii? It says Ohana. I don't think I'm in Hawaii though. I have no idea that area code. Arlington? Dude, I have no idea. I was in Arlington. Where's Arlington, Texas? Am I blind? I know where Arlington is. I have no idea where Arlington, Texas. That's one of the starters. The starters are always a standout. I don't like here. I'll go back to it. San Antonio. Don't know. Okay, Arlington's here. Good to know. Here. Go back to it. I think. I like the grass one for sure. That's my favorite. I'm always gonna go grass. Okay. I like elephant. I think it's a little here. Precedent. I want its stats actually. Alright. Okay. I like it. It's slow, but I do like the grass rock. My favorite is dolphin. Dolphin. Yeah. Dolphin's cool. I like it. So I like this. I like that it gets rock typing to combat its fire weakness. I do like that. Smoke half. Kind of like fire fairy's weird. I feel like it does look firefighting type. But firefighting is a common thing. I do like it. I wish since the grass started gets rock typing, I wish it would have got something to beat water typing, right? Like to keep a second, like to get a second circle in, right? Or like say it was fire, I don't know, ground. No, that wouldn't necessarily work. But another triangle, like how they did with the Hisuian one. I would have liked that. And like water, this just stays water, right? It goes water psychic. Yeah, but so, I mean, Incineroar looks like firefighting, but it's fire dark. That's true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, like, it being fairy makes it good against Bellamar, right? Makes it good against the water type like I want, but there's a kink in the triangle. Like, psychic doesn't necessarily go well against, whatchamacallit, rock. Like, so I wish it would made a second triangle. Yeah. I think that's probably my biggest gripe with the starters, that it's not a second triangle. Because it works better, I feel like. Like, fighting dark, psychic. All works, right? It just perfect. Perfect circle. Like if you would have made that as the circle instead. Trying to think of what else it could, like what other circles it could have been. Flying, ground, and rock would have been a good one too. If it was a fire flying type, right, and then it was a water ground type, would have been a perfect circle. Kind of for secondary typings. It was still the water ground, so the ground still wouldn't have been good against the grass type starter, but I guess that wouldn't have worked either. Some people don't care about type triangles all the time. Yeah, I just like if they all have secondary types. I just like first and second triangle to shift it, but it's not necessary. That'd be my only thing, and it's not even that big of a deal. This one, design wise, I think my favorite is okay. I get the design. It's not great. It's not bad. Like it's not like I like the frog. I like the little intricacies. I like the fist stuff like that. I do like that. Um, this guy, I just don't see the fairy. That's my thing. That's the only thing about the design is I don't see the fairy. Um, this looks evil, which it just looks like Malamar. Like it's Malamar. Malamar. I think it's Malamar. Malamar. I don't know why, but the face is just so like the eyes. I think is what it is. I think it's the eyes. Ah, I think it's the eyes. Can I make this bigger? Make this bigger. Okay, now it's on the side. I think it's the eyes. It's just like the squint. I think that's the thing. It looks evil, but it's clearly supposed to kind of have like that scariness. But I think the stars are nice. I don't think they did a bad job at all. The whole concept is it starts out innocent, evolving, and loses trust in society. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look evil. Creates bubble fin to constantly stay. Yeah. Maybe he wasn't supposed to get maced. Gotta get tased. Tased? How do you spell tased? Tased too, right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think the starters all look good. For sure. None of them are bad starters. The only Pokemon actually, yeah, the Pokemon that I hate the most is this. This just, no, I don't like it. I know it's supposed to look like a naked mole rat. I get it, but no. I would never catch this. Ever. One would not be on my team. Couldn't pay me enough to have that on my team. I also do like the blue here more than I like the shiny more than the regular. Like you know how it started I like that shiny too. It started blue and then turned pink for the shiny, right? And then turned pink starting in the second one. I think it should have kept the blue the whole way and then all of the I like the water. Like yeah. I think right. Boom. Yeah. I think they should have kept the either like had some pink on the first one, but I think they should have kept blue, regular, pink, shiny the whole way through. Somehow. Continue to pass. I do like the little laser thing. The little animation. That is nice. Had a cough. How cool would it be to see that anime? I think it would. Yeah, I mean it'd be cool to see. I don't know if every single time it had to do the little like laser beam thing though. But it's a cool looking thing. I mean, especially like with better, like animation budget type stuff, right? Could like have the bubbles in the beam as well. I think would look nice. Who's snapping me? Oh, is he working? You work great tonight. Gotta find out. I'm trying to think of any other Pokemon that I like this. I mean, for an electric type, I like it. I like Girafarig's evolution. I do think. I think there's. I don't know about Dragon type, but I do like the at least look of it. Oh, I don't. I don't know if I like this. I think. I don't know. I don't know. It's also pretty slow. Like Aerodactyl's fast out of the rock flying, and I just don't know if it's. Oh, the Carbonk. Carbonk. Looks like Big Hero 6. Yeah, I really like this line. Flora Surge. Yeah, I really like this. This is what I said I'd have as my. Or is there another Fire Electric? I think this is who I said for my Fire Electric, right? Be on my team. Looks cool. Spend his evolution. Kind of makes sense. Okay, good. We playing Phaz tonight. I'll just see if I should end it. Phaz? Ew. Jeff's texting. The only things I would disagree to a huge degree is Assassin and Sonian Wailord. Sonian Wailord. It just I don't know. I like Wailord, but the whole big worm thing is weird. I don't know. It's just weird to me. Getting tased. Or is he getting maced? Which one is it? This has to be tased. Yeah. Come for your. That's Whalmer would have looked. Yeah, I think I wish they would have done the pair of look like Numal as well, or Sonia. There was another one that Azurill and Meryl. That'd look cool. Calf. Those would look cool to see. I do think the pre-evolutions would look would be nice to see. I think I just called it a calf when it was a calf. And Shinx, yes, Asuian Shinx or Asonian Shinx would be cool. I like the Shinx line too. I like that a lot actually. The ice. Where are you? Shinx. You're back here, aren't you? You are not that far back though. Here we go. The Luxray looks sick. This is really cool. I really like the Ice Fairy. This is probably one of my favorite designs out of this stuff. This Shinx line looks good. It does look good. Indeed. Wish you guys something as Zero and Marrow. That would look nice. I don't know if I like the Fire Rock. I don't know. I do not know, Sam. I am. I do not. It's really slow too. It does, especially since they put the little beach background. It does. It does indeed. Should have like bye. Yeah, this does look very much like a Lola, like something from a Lola. I wouldn't mind Mirror like this line getting a regional variant. I just don't know if I like the Rock Fire Rock. This looks more like a shell than like normal, like normal Azumarill. If I'm turning Sandshrew into an Ice type. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I would like most regional variants I can get behind. I just don't know about this one. Like I just don't like the shell. I like the little. Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Azumarill. Azumarill. I always overpronounce it, I guess. Azumarill, but it's Azumarill. Oh, man, let me get into it. Oh, yeah, let's grab. Go to. I think he made something else. I wonder what stars there actually involved in the show. What stars there actually? Oh, you mean like for Gen 9? I don't even know what's the name of the region. Why can't I think of it? Um. Oh my god, why can't I think of it? They have a video on there. No, you don't think mean Gen 9? Oh, you mean something like what they would evolve into? Oh, like because it's not all of them evolve is what you're saying. Yeah. I can't imagine Elephant doesn't at least go to the second evolution. Right? Like I don't think it's gonna be like a Bulbasaur situation. I think he'd at least go to or Rowlet situation, I guess. Or any of those. I think he'd at least go second stage. Um One of them's gotta go full on. I don't know which ones they would do. I do not know. I do not know. The fire one would fully, yeah, probably. Would probably fully evolve. I don't know if they would the water starter fully evolve is the question. Would it fully evolve? I feel like they'd have to. I feel like just because of the signature move, like how assuming True Green is involved, right? He wants to see that signature move, right? I think they'd have to fully evolve. They'd almost have to. I can't imagine a way they would get around not evolving it in order to see it. Yeah, there's no way they don't. There's no way they don't all the way at all. I mean, they could, unless they get the signature move like the whole way through. But most of the time, you only get the signature move when you're fully evolved, so there's no way they don't. They don't evolve. They have a rhythm evolving fire and water, so they do. They do indeed. I think there's usually at least one that doesn't go all the way, but fire and water are usually pretty good bets to go full on evolve. Trying to think of the last one that didn't get fully evolved. Greninja's fully evolved. Did Torracat ever become Incineroar? I feel like Torracat did. Grookey. Yeah. I like Grookey, so. Yeah, I think that's the last one. They didn't. I'm trying to think from the very beginning. It didn't involve Bulbasaur. It didn't involve Totodile either. I don't think. It became a Bayleaf, not a Meganium, but at least got second stage. Third gen. He had a Sceptile. Fourth gen. Fourth gen, I don't remember. I don't know if he evolved. Because I think he had Turtwig, right? I don't remember. It's been a while. Oh. What does Miller say? Okay. What gotta do with the price of pizza? I mean, they'd have to evolve. They probably wouldn't evolve Elephant, but they'd evolve Fire and starters. It had to have. I refuse to believe they wouldn't have. But I think I am actually gonna end stream instead of waiting. I can't decide. I don't know when he's gonna be home. Part of me is like, I don't want to do anything for the 45 minutes. Ones that didn't involve Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Totodile, Piplup, Snivy, Oshawott, Chespin, Rowlet, and yeah, they do not mess with grass types, huh? Oh, that's probably loud as hell. Thing. Yeah, they do not involve the grass types very often. None of them are gonna answer. I hate both these. Yeah, I think they don't usually evolve grass types, so I'd bet they don't evolve. They wouldn't evolve Elephant. Y'all suck. They did not answer me. Say my own. Yeah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't evolve. I mean, they'd probably get him with a second evolution, but I don't know, because just to get the dual typing, right? I think they'd get him to his dual typing. That's my guess, J-Dog. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end it. Didn't get any gaming, but that's fine. I couldn't care less. Gonna be playing Phaz anyway, so I'm not gonna be looking at chat much. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna actually do it. I good recommendation, General. I appreciate everyone who came out. And I will be streaming probably tomorrow. I'll probably do Renegade Platinum tomorrow. Do a couple tries at a Nuzlocke of it, but I probably won't finish it. And yeah, that is it. Have a good night and have a good weekend. If I don't stream.